Dignitas, and then the team that I brought up, Team Liquid. They're groups A and B.
Top Blokes also, for me, really need to improve right now. They've got a lot to prove after they ended up coming out in last place during the RLCS and also doing pretty terribly in groups last week. But over in Group C and D, Singularity, Guild, Endpoint, and Fadeaway. That is Endpoint's smorgasbord of teams they always seem to play. And then in Group D is the group toppers that normally fill out that number one spot in A through D. Redemption, BDS, Vitality, and also Rix GG are there.
Rix GG, the same number of wins.
I feel
as
so
Wolves
bad
Esports.
for them.
Look, okay, they got one win in week one. They got one win in week one, and Magnus was very proud, going on Twitter saying that's my first ever grid win. They haven't won since then. Will they get a win today against Redemption, BDS, or Vitality? Tell me they will, Stumpy.
Right. I'm kind of setting myself up here, and I hope that this clip finds its way back to Twitter, because Rix clearly go 0-3, right? But I would love to see Rix at the top. Imagine if they end up top of this group. I would not know what to do with myself.
Will it be one of those days today where Rix GG are just utterly unstoppable? For no apparent reason, they've shown no signs, no hints that they could be... Hey, look at them!
Oh, look at them go!
It's incredible that they've won 3 and nobody else has played any games. I love that about Group
The others
D.
forfeited, that's why.
They just know it's the right thing to do.
Yeah, they're going to play amongst themselves, but you know.
Okay, so I'm not so sure that we will see that. We should also draw attention to Giants Gaming, who pushed BDS all the way in that recent RLCSX regional. Just a quality day all around that was. So hopefully this one is anywhere near as exciting, Stumpy.
Here is the schedule for today, hoping to be just as exciting. You saw there are groups A through D. Groups A and B fill up our first hour. This is a 4-hour long show. The middle 2 hours are going to be filled up with groups A, B, C, and D. And then the final hour is going to be groups C and D. Cole, to start us off, we have got Galaxy Racer versus Wolves, Vodafone Giants versus Triple Trouble, Top Blokes versus Team Liquid. Can either team manage to get a win? I don't even know anymore. And Oxygen versus Dignitas. Oxygen having an amazing performance as well, ending up getting to the losers semi-finals in RLCSX and actually losing to Dignitas, but it did go to all 7 and it ended with an overtime.
Well, I mean, Top Blokes, they are still joint top of the grid alongside Dignitas, despite Dignitas getting no points in week 1. Since then, they got 30 points and then they won it all in week 3. And yeah, they join Top Blokes at the top. So they're in a little bit of poor form right now, but they are still an absolutely quality team. And if you're wondering where you can watch all of these games, well, this is where you can watch all of them. But if you want to watch just one team, you can go to any one of these places. So say you're coming over here, Stumpy Goblin, and you just love Guild Esports.
I love Guild Esports.
Then you can go to twitch.tv/Guild Esports, and you can watch Ian Chambers and Shogun, and they will take you through Guild's run.
I don't like Shogun.
Well, you'll be stuck with him, mate.
I like Ian Chambers, though. I like his hair. Is it a hat?
Is a hat. What you got to do is mute your speakers every time Shogun speaks. Maybe get like a bass detection, and any time your speakers just hear hello, something that low, they automatically cut off like a noise gate, a Shogun noise gate, and you can just listen to Ian Chambers on twitch.tv/Guild Esports. Very simple.
There are also, obviously, all of these other broadcasts going on. If you're French, you can go and have a little gander at Vitality, because they're a full French broadcast. If you are Espanol, you can go and look at Giants. A couple of these streams are going on, obviously, not all at the same time for this first hour, but in the middle 2 hours, they are all going to be kicking off. Some awesome shows going on as well. I saw Jorby tweeting, saying that he has got something planned for his stream today. And he also added us with it. So he clearly wants us to go and see him at one point. We will be, of course. But he's desperate for that attention, bless him.
Yeah, well, he deserves it. He is a wonderful man. Jorby's voice, oh my goodness. I could just listen to it for hours on end. Sadly, over here, you guys are stuck with us for hours on end. But you can see that Jorby Plus, he is live right there looking at Liquipedia. Look at him go. Who looks a bit better? And LeafX, who's he with? Who's that next to him?
That's the Moustache. What do you mean?
He's just looking really good today. Looking better than normal.
He looks really good. He's got a really big curl on his left tash.
Do you reckon his right tash is jealous?
I think it might be, unless he's just got sort of 2 rival snails fighting out on his face.
Is that what you think when you see a man with a moustache? You think, wow, is that rival snails battling it out?
Sometimes, look at that. Oh, I am the Moustache. Look at me. I am doing the grid overtime with a magician.
So, he doesn't look like a magician. So, do you think
Leaf
that
looks
when...
like a magician.
That's fair. We can all agree on that. But when the moustache, let's go back to this, sorry. Let's not move away from the dueling snails just yet. When the moustache presumably was drawing his logo, did he do the left one and think, okay, that's enough practice. Let's really do it for real with the right one? And that's the one that you put all the, or mirrored, the right one. And that's the one that you put all of the effort into. And that's why it's so much more swirly.
I think he did. So his left mustache wing, as it were, I think he started inside the curl and then could go out and then joined it onto the face.
Right.
But then with the other side, he started on the face and then it went too tight too quickly, but he couldn't reverse it because they're about to get into, like, this is like 2 minutes before and he didn't know his camera wasn't working.
Another theory is that each moustache hair was a different length. So with this one, he could only wind it twice. But this one, he wound it twice, and there was still a bit drooping. It was like, wind that down.
Better wind that a bit more, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Let us know what you think happened at the moustaches icon using #TheGrid on Twitter, because throughout the show, we will be reading your tweets. And Stumpy, right, the other day, I was on the sofa. My dog was asleep next to me. My girlfriend was on her tablet having a great time. I was chilling, watching the Grid overtime, and I sent a tweet to Stacks and Nosey, just saying what a great time I was having. And it got read out. And genuinely, in that moment, it didn't matter that I host the EU one. I felt so excited that Stacks was reading my tweet. So if you want that to happen, unfortunately not through Stacks, you'll have to put up with Stumpy and me doing it. Please speak to us using #TheGrid on Twitter, because it's an amazing feeling.
I'm on the #TheGrid on Twitter, and the mustache has tweeted, not about us. He just said, just cause #TheGrid is over for NA doesn't mean I'm done. Switching to EU action as I join Leaf in the booth. Anxious to see another Dignitas massive run.
Sorry that I'm laughing. I've just seen another tweet, which is from RixGG saying #RixOnTop @StumpyGoblin @EmilCole93, which presumably is referencing your brave prediction that they were going to go Norton 3 before we changed our minds, as if actually this is going to be the week that they pop off. So that is getting the big @EmilCole93 retweet. Of course it is.
I didn't see it. Did they at me?
Yeah, they did.
Oh, they did. Okay.
They didn't #TheGrid, which isn't great.
They didn't. Well, they followed me, though. Thanks, RixGG. Do I follow them? I do. I thought I could ego them.
Unfollow them, mate.
I always like when there's clearly something that's going to be more well-known than I am that follows me, and I don't already follow them, because I'm like, I'm going to leave it that way for like a month, and then I'll follow a little bit later, because then I feel like I've got the upper hand, but I don't want them to unfollow, because that'd really ruin my day.
Yeah, that's very spiteful. That's why one day I'll follow Gibbs. He knows that if he keeps pumping out those great tweets, then eventually he will see that notification EmilCole93 has followed you. He's working for that. That's always been his dream. Yeah, it is. So these games are beginning to start, Stumpy. Group A and Group B will be the first ones that are beginning. Let's just have a little look through Group A and Group B. So Group A, Galaxy Racer, Giants Gaming, Triple Trouble, and Wolves. Group B, Dignitas, Oxygen, Team Liquid, and Top Blokes. So are there any of those teams you'd like us to have a little chat about and just talk about in general?
I think that Galaxy Racer have had a little mini drop-off, right? Where they ended up also going out first round in the RLCS recently, in the final regional in Europe. I think that they've got a lot to prove, and I think that's a good group for them to prove it. The biggest issue, of course, is going to be Giants in that group. I presume they're going to top it, because they looked absolutely incredible with Itachi. They're going to be such a fun team to watch. So hopefully we can see quite a lot of them. Also, bear in mind, everyone, if you've not seen Overtime before, obviously there's loads of streams going on at once, and every single team that you see today will be here tomorrow as well. They are just playing for seeding and some points going through. So if you win a single series, I believe you get yourself 10 points, and that can straight up make the difference.
Yeah, at this late stage in the grid where people are struggling for survival, desperate to not be in that final 6, I believe it is, that will drop out and need to requalify for next season, then yeah, 10 points could make a big change. And you see now in front of you, ladies and gentlemen, the 4-box, our mighty 4-box. This is where we will be staying for the majority of today. We are always on the lookout though, Stumpy. Slow it down, say nice and quiet, because we're always on the lookout for overtimes. And when an overtime occurs, we will zoom right into it, and all of these beautiful casters that are casting these individual games, they will blare out to the tens of thousands of you that are watching this right now. It's a nice, fun format we have going on right now.
Yeah, we have as well a bit of a tradition. When there is an overtime, everybody in chat, don't do it now. I know some people will be doing this, and they'll be like, oh, I know the inside joke here. I know what these guys do. I like inside jokes, right? What you need to do is, as soon as there's an overtime, on any of the screens that you see in front of you at any point during the day, you need to spam the emote RLCS capital OT, right? But Cole, I hear some people crying. I don't have a Prime Gaming.
I don't have it. Don't have a Prime. Wow.
I don't have a Prime Gaming, but tell you what they can do instead, mate. If you have channel points, I think it's like 900. It's real cheap. Just hang out here for a minute. You'll get 900. You can then unlock the emote in the bottom left of your chat box. You can then unlock RLCSOT. You can spam it. You can go wild with chat.
Mate.
And you can tell your mum that today you were part of an inside joke with Cole and Stumpy.
Couple of things. One, it's 920, if anybody's wondering the precise amount.
Easy.
So if they're there hitting refresh on 910, just wait. Those final 10 will come soon. Secondly, Stacks RL thought it would be funny to spam RLCSOT before an overtime actually happened. I was singing your praises, Stacks, after you read out my tweet with your glorious voice. I was so happy and so proud, but the shoe is on the other foot now. I'm the one with the microphone, okay? So you, my friend, you can wait until there's an actual overtime, and then you can spam RLCSOT, because you're better than that. All the people spamming it now in Twitch chat, I expect that from them. But from Stacks, I expect better.
But Cole, I'm a cleverer man.
Well,
That's what he sounds like.
just wait. Just wait. They're doing it more now.
No, they're doing it right. Chat. No, right. If we engage with them,
Yeah, my bad.
then they want to do it more. No, I was about to as well. So, everybody in chat, stop, chill out, save your OTs, and bring them out a little bit later. Because if you're spamming them now and you also spam them later, I have no quarrel with you, sir. But if you spam them now and you don't spam them later, my word will be having words.
Okay, so there, we've had our important chat with Twitch chat. Always needs to happen. Let's have a look at how these games are going so far. So Galaxy Racer, you're right. They are having a bit of a struggle right now. They're first since Arju joined that team. It's always going to happen. Any team that pops off to the extent that Galaxy Racer do will have tough times. And I think their playstyle falls into that somewhat because they rely on solo plays a lot. So if the mechanics are ever not quite there, if they're a little bit cool, they're going to struggle to be able to grind their way past teams. And Wolves Esports, I've been backing them since week 1. They've managed to get themselves 1 win so far in the 3 grids that we've had. Can they beat Galaxy Racer? Decent little beginning for them in the top left.
I think potential. You know, there's always the potential with Wolves. I do back them. I think that they are a pretty decent team. I think Galaxy Racer are better. They've obviously had better results. They're currently sitting much closer to the top of the table compared to Wolves, who are not doing nearly as well. Be a good series regardless. Otherwise, Liquid and Top Blokes. Liquid have just started to beat Top Blokes in the top right, as I said that. Ronicky with the shooting boots back on. Just picking the ball up from midfield and giving it a cheeky redirect like a legend. Giants just about getting through triple trouble. So Giants in the RLCS entered into the joint longest Rocket League series that has ever happened. Me and Cole had the pleasure of casting it. It were 2 best of 7s back-to-back because BDS got the bracket reset. And we had 13 games in a row. That is a ridiculous level, and these guys have got a silly amount of stamina.
I believe that Giants Gaming would have become so much better due to that series. To play 13 games in a row against BDS, there's going to be so much that you'll have learned. And also, by the end of it, they were exhausted. I've said to you before, Stumpy, just between you and me, that one of the things I loved so much about that series was that you could tell that the standard was dipping somewhat as they got more tired. The levels of exhaustion that these players were fighting through, when even a player like Itachi was missing relatively basic reads off the backboard because they've been playing for so very long. And I think that experience is going to serve them so well in a format like this in the grid, where you've got to get yourself going, especially just after a regional. You've really got to get yourself in the mood. I think that now that they are energetic and sprightly and up for it again, I think that the experience it would have taken will only serve them well.
I wonder what the actual longest broadcast time is for one series as well. Like, just sheer gameplay-wise. Because there was another best of 7 bracket reset that went to 13 games. I'm still kind of gutted we didn't get the full 14. That would have been unbelievable.
It'll happen.
It will happen. Yeah, I wonder what the longest broadcast is, like in that time, because they're also, in that series of 13 games, there were 8 overtimes, which I think totaled 10 minutes of gameplay in total extra, but I don't know what the other series ended up having, so they are battle hardened, quite frankly.
Exactly, and once you've survived through that, you can pretty much survive through anything. There has been a win for Giants Gaming in the bottom left, 2-0. Affectionately referred to as other, apparently, in the Triple Trouble overlay. Presumably, it was the team in blue that made that lobby. I mean, if you're making the lobby, surely just write Giants Gaming when you create it, right? Is that just me? Endpoint used to do that.
I like the fact, yeah, but Endpoint are good people.
True.
I think that it's funnier if you give them a weird name. There's that amazing clip from Johnny Boy's stream where Rettles was changing the name of Rogue, and he changed it to, in the end, I think it started off with one joke, and they all got a little bit tired of and whatever else. And then in the next lobby, Rettles renamed them to Space Station Gaming versus Throg. And they left. They just straight up left.
I think that won the casting moment of the year in the subreddit as well, and I'm completely fine with that because that was utterly hilarious.
It was so good. Just looking out at the hashtag the grid, if people want to be getting involved with that. Alligatosaurus has said they've heard it before, but a shout out to Psionics for the RLCS grid overtime broadcasts. Love being able to have Emil Cole, Stumpy Goblin stacks, and Nose Dude whisper in overviews while I work from home.
Nice.
Thank you very much, big man Nelson. Appreciate you, pal.
Yeah.
And also Stacks tweeted or whatever, but I don't care about him.
And also, as who was it who said that? Sorry, was it Nelson you said?
Big Nelson, yeah.
Nelson.
My mate Nelson, yeah. Nelly Nelson is what we call him.
Nelson raised a great point. Thank you to Psionics for continuing to just make RL Esports the best thing in the world. I adore it. I adore that Grid has evolved between the full split.
Look at a cheese mug.
Is that what it was? I thought that'd be a cool gun. It's a nice mug.
Look at that. Oh, it's gone now. That was a good... I don't know. It was big. It looked like it could hold a lot of liquid in it. And it also matches his little cardie. Great mug, Chief. Good stuff.
That's what the little cardie does.
What?
He's rocking the little cardie. He always does.
His little cardie, yeah. He loves his little cardies, doesn't he?
Achieves is such a cool guy. He is a top bloke.
It's back. Is that mug's back? It's back.
Is it Christmassy?
I think it's flowers. I like that.
Can we get mug watch? What emote should we get chat to spam whenever they see the mug?
Well, surely RLCS mug watch.
Is that an emote? I'm just checking if that one already exists.
Check if that's an emote. Is there like a mug emoji?
There's one of Shogun's face.
Right, that's the one. What's it called?
RLCS what?
Oh, W-U-T.
Yeah.
Okay, so RLCS what? I don't even think I've got this unlocked. I'm going to put it in chat. Nope. Okay, Subpar does not have it unlocked.
Hey, why are you on the Subpar account?
I don't know, because I'm an anarchist.
RLCS what?
Let me unlock it myself. So whenever we see anybody's mug.
There it is.
Look, oh, RLCS what? Spam it. Spam RLCS what?
Spam it.
Mug watch. It is flowers. It is flowers.
We can call it mug woot because it's woot. So it's mug witch.
Mug witch.
Mug witch.
Where's his little face? You're so silly, Shogun.
Oh, we have too much power. This is getting silly.
Okay, there we go. I can spam it from my account now. RLCS.
Nice.
Oh, it's back! RLCS what? Get them out! Get your woods out!
Hey, woods!
Look, get the woods out for the mug for the mug. That's
hey, brilliant.
Brilliant.
Oh,
brilliant mug watch.
Thank you, Achieves. It is flowers, isn't it? It's a really nice
flowers,
big mug. Maybe it's a flower pot. Maybe it's not actually a mug.
Ah, mug watch is back! What?
Is he holding it there on purpose? Has someone piped in the info that Grid Overtime is having a great time of Achieves' mug? Look at him sip it. He knows.
Do you think that, like, when this kind of thing happens, it's obviously ridiculous, he's like, yeah, that makes sense? Or is he thinking, why in week 4 are they now caring about my mug? Because I think he's had a good mug every single week as well.
Has he really? And we've just completely missed the fact that each week he's treated us to a wonderful mug.
I think so, yeah.
I'm so sorry, Achieves. We've let you down.
But it's there now, Coco. It's there. We've got it. He's happy. We're happy. And everyone now is on mug watch. and RLCS OT watch.
We're going to forget, but chat's going to remember. That's my theory. And we'll look over and we'll be like, why is there loads of Shogun's face? I bet the mug's out. That's my hope.
Maybe. I'm hoping, Carl.
Mate. Bottom right,
What,
Oxygen Esports versus Dignitas,
Oh.
who went so close between themselves the other day, with Dignitas just winning out in Game 7 overtime. We're close to an overtime until Chaussette followed up there. Look at Chaussette. He's a poacher nowadays, isn't he? He's no longer able to dribble from one side of the map to the next. But he seems to be remodeling himself as a bit more of a Ferrer. Just the fox in the box, putting it away.
I did see him do a dribble the other day.
He did.
And it was so good just to see him do it and like it actually come off and do well. Because I've not seen Chaussette dribble since DreamHack. And that's about 1.5 years ago. It's just ridiculous. So, well done. Thank you very much, Chaussette, for just doing a dribble finally. A couple of other OTs to be keeping an eye out for. Bottom left, Triple Trouble versus Giants. Taphole's just hit the crossbar. He wants RLCS OT to be spammed. And top right, Team Liquid versus Top Blokes. They've got about a minute left, so hoping we see at least one overtime coming in.
Yeah, I mean, Team Liquid did take that first game as well, so at least for now, the Top Blokes' shaky form continues. But bottom left, at Jorby Pliz, is winding closer and closer to that first overtime. So Stumpy, before we get there, remind the people what to do if we do.
When this hits overtime, everybody in chat, spam RLCS OT. But hold for now, okay? Hold.
I'm typing it.
Hold. Whoa, Nelly. Go. We'll listen in.
Now I'm feeling like they didn't want overtime. But they put together that last push. Nice challenge from Calyx in front of the ball. Don't want to go down 2-0 in the match. Bluey sends one up. Calyx looking towards the stars for how Bluey was going to push that ball forward. Itachi gets a clean look. He's actually going to take it to the side. Around Tadpole, but can't get around Bluey. Stake is the next up, and Calyx there on the rotation. Defense holding firm right now for Triple Trouble. Another pop for Zamway. Takes the boost and another touch. Tadpole coming out of the net, but Calyx covers the distance and gets the pinch against Itachi. Quickly up again is Bluey. Sends one flying towards the net, and Stake easily grabs that one to the corner. But this is where the push starts for Triple Trouble. Itachi can't get the touch up against Calyx. Zamway has to come in to assist. Really like the overall push here and the ebb and flow Triple Trouble have. Pulling off exactly when they need to, but have had control the whole length of overtime. They need the shots. They're missing the quality shot opportunities, and the longer they go without one, the more likely it is that the Giants get away with a cheeky transition or maybe a play right here from Itachi, but all he can do is launch it back to the side. Calyx, hard ball off the ceiling to Bluey. Close to the crossbar. Zamway misses. Calyx scores! Triple Trouble take game 2! Wonderfully done here. First sent off by Calyx. Good power from Bluey, and fortune favors the ball. Almost had a great call. Almost.
Triple Trouble getting game number 2 there in overtime, our first RLCS OT of the day, and it was a pretty good one. Up top, Wolves Esports have just taken that game against Galaxy Racers, so 1-0 to the Wolverhampton. There they go, and you can just see that one there approaching. Do you reckon they consider themselves as Wolverhampton in the same way that Pittsburgh Knights are Pittsburgh? Do you think Wolves Esports are Wolverhampton?
Are they proud Wolverhamptonians, is your question?
Yeah, do they represent Wolverhampton, or at this point, is it a badge and is it an org? Is it a brand?
Have the Dutchman Rix and Oli and the Spaniard Louis P ever been to Wolverhampton, is my other question.
Ooh. Now that is a good question. I would
That'd be a
watch
good
that
video.
content.
Let's have them walk around Wolverhampton and just, I don't really know what there is to do in Wolverhampton. I'm going to go on a website that advises you about your trip, and I will just have a look at what there is to do in Wolverhampton.
Okay, how about then you can say some examples of things to do, and me and you and Twitch chat can rate how fun they seem out of 10.
Okay, that
Yeah.
sounds good.
So if there's like visit the harbour bridge, people can be like, oh, that sounds great. I'll give that a 7 or whatever.
Right.
We can see if we
There's
can
an
get it.
essential one.
Okay.
There's a place that it says this is essential that you need to go to. Okay, Cole, you cannot, and I'm telling you right now, you cannot go to Wolverhampton without visiting the White Wick Manor and Gardens. You can't. You just simply can't. It would be criminal.
So what have they got going on? Some plants and that, I presume?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Any is it like the world's biggest pitchfork resides there or anything?
No.
There's some flowers.
There's a lake. So there's a lake. With a small bridge that doesn't actually extend across the lake.
Okay.
There seems to be a small kitchen that you can go in, but it doesn't look functional.
Okay.
There's a smiling couple. They look like they're having a good time. Good for you guys.
Where's the world's biggest pitchfork? Sorry, I missed that.
Wow, truly a grotesque fireplace resides there as well.
How-
Okay, so Cole, how do you think that stacks up? Would you want to go to White Wick Manor and Gardens?
Well, first off, I am really this fireplace is. So that bumps up a couple of units out of 10. I'd give this a 6, I would say.
6. People in
Yeah.
chat are saying around 5 and 6 was just very average.
Yeah, it sounds pretty average, to be fair.
Okay, I'm making sure to not say any like business names, like of any public houses, for example.
Yeah, these are public areas of interest, right? Things that exist in the history of Wolverhampton.
Yeah. Oh, there's a park. The thing
Stay-
is, we're gonna get pigeonholed into just going to a load of parks, so I can't say any names of actual businesses.
Are there not any like laser quests that existed in the Tudor times, and they're just public laser quests at this point?
I'll look for any public laser. There's a fruit farm that's got 4 out of 5 stars. Now, why is that? Why did this fruit farm drop a star? That's my question.
Maybe it was that time of the year. All the stars drop from the trees.
Oh, maybe. Maybe. Hang on. I'm going to see what the review is for Terrible. Why did someone hate it? Oh, their kids just didn't have a good time. Oh, they went to go pumpkin picking, but there were no pumpkins. Okay, right.
Well, that's what happens if you go in January, to be fair.
Yeah, this review was posted in May. Why did they think there'd be pumpkins? That's crazy.
Well, no, but is it crazy, though? Because the pumpkins only exist in October, or do we only care about them in October?
I like a pumpkin year round. I'm going to be honest with you, mate.
Yeah.
I won't lie to you. You know I wouldn't lie to you.
No, you wouldn't. Not on...
Do you like? What do you think about pumpkins? Just as a
We've actually still got a pumpkin. We bought it for Halloween. A whole pumpkin. We bought it for Halloween, and my girlfriend was going to make pumpkin pie or whatever, and then we never got round to it. And now our puppy that we got late December, he really likes it. He jumps on it. He gives it a little nibble. So it's sort of become the dog's pumpkin.
No, that'll be rancid inside.
Do you reckon it's it's nasty by now?
100. I have zero doubt in my mind that you've just got a liquefied pumpkin sitting in your living room.
actually in
Because
the
I'll tell you what
kitchen.
happened with me.
Go on.
So I carved a pumpkin, as you do with the pump, in October. I guess sort of, yeah. And I left it in the conservatory for a little bit, literally until maybe, I don't know, a week after Halloween. I looked in it, and it had built up a solid 2 or 3 inches of rotten liquid. And that was about 2 weeks, or a week into November. So you've got this rancid pumpkin sitting. Is it inside?
Yeah. It's so firm on the outside, though. You'd never know.
I wouldn't have known either, mate. I really wouldn't have known either. Honestly,
Really?
I reckon this is a Twitch. This is a Twitter video for you. You go outside because I know you have a little bit of garden. Do you have a little bit of patio? You do, right?
Yeah.
You throw it at the floor.
Well, that's one option. The other option is that I say to
throw
my
it out.
no. The other option is that I say to my girlfriend, "Hey, I know you've been looking forward to cooking that pumpkin. Should we get her all excited? So, I'm really ready for some pumpkin pie now."
I was like, oh, I really peck it. We were talking about pumpkins
let's cook
on the
together.
show. I could really go for some pumpkin pie.
Can we cook together, please?
Oh, that'd be so nice. And she gets into it and it just spills out. It coats your puppy in rancid pumpkin juice. He's slipping and sliding on all the seeds.
He doesn't understand why we've cut into it. That's his little toy. He
won't
likes
get
jumping
it.
up on it.
But then you can but then after that, Cole, you can then just stick a straw in it and drink the goop.
Ew! Don't do that. That doesn't sound very healthy. I wouldn't do that.
Okay. Well, that, I think, is a Twitter video. Maybe you record her reaction to you saying, I'd love to... Because I know she's like the main cook in your household.
Yes.
So you could say, okay, I would love to cook. Like, oh, I feel really up for it today. Let's cook together.
Yeah, exactly. Get all the stuff out, make everyone really excited, tell all our mates that we're going to make pumpkin pie.
Yeah.
And I was like, can you cut into it, please, darling? Let me just... Why are you recording? Oh, don't worry about it. I'm just, just so we can share
You're
with the family.
standing back with like a mask on and goggles. No, it's fine, honestly.
Exactly. It's just, it's 2020. It's 2021, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, you never know what's inside a pumpkin nowadays. But what if you cut open into it and it's just fine? And you've just got a weirdly immune pumpkin. And you've just bought it is the most genetically perfect pumpkin on the patch.
Then I'll have
and
to...
you picked it out. Like, no problem.
My afternoon making pumpkin pie, which actually would be really fun. Like, there's no reason we didn't do that. I haven't even been putting it off.
Overtime!
Right, overtime!
RLCSOT!
Team Liquid versus Top Blokes. We're not ready for it. We're going to go to it at some point, maybe.
Everyone can spam it. Everyone can
spam it
anyway.
Good shout. Oh, what a save.
Spam.
From Monarchy. And now let's go to it.
Is that...
The ball dropping down out to the centre, it will go. Ronke rushing upfield, will not find a touch on it. Off the side, well, upfield, a chance on net, it's gonna be in! No one there to defend it, the demo was what was needed, and Fruity will find the goal, but it was Ronke there getting that demo, taking out the defender, and Liquid head to match point.
Oh, that's a lovely, the fall of Fruity finally getting one onto the net, lovely to see.
We're back. We did it. Everybody spammed RLCSOT as you were requested to. Some people got timed out, and I think that's worth it. You did a good job.
Yeah.
Other people, all caps RLCSOT. Just to clarify, it's lowercase RLCS, capital OT. There is no space, and you have to unlock the emote in the channel point redemption box at the bottom of your chat.
I still maintain that the channel point icon should be Gibbs' face, and then the choose an emote to unlock should be Gibbs' face, and then the emote itself is Gibbs, and then you can just say follow the Gibbs, and then it's 3 clicks and you've got the emote. It'd be a nice little thing.
But what about when we want people to get their RLCS Woots out for Achieves' Mugwatch?
Yeah, but
follow the Gibbs,
said...
but then take the first Shogun on the left.
Exactly. And I don't... Sorry, I'm actually crying. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think that sounds great. That's some fine directions there, my friend.
I'm sure people will get that as well.
Yeah.
I'm sure everyone will clearly understand what we mean.
I used to be a technical author, and I can confirm that that is some good instructions.
Yeah, you got fired, didn't you?
I didn't
So
get fired.
we are... Yeah, it's a scandal. It was in all the papers, I believe.
Stop it.
We are... just to cover some of these games a little bit. Giants Gaming are 2-1 up versus Triple Trouble. Oxygen are the same versus Dignitas. So if Oxygen win this game, then they'll be beating Dignitas in their first match. Team Liquid are 2-1 up versus Top Blokes. And Galaxy Racer right now have just gone 2-1 up, or are still 1-1 now versus Wolves. It's just 1-1. Cool.
Yeah, what a game that was, though. 4-3 to Galaxy Racer and a post-hit right at 0 seconds on that one. So the chance of OT in Galaxy Racer versus Wolves Esports is looking pretty high. Oxygen Esports versus Dignitas, that was almost a save on the goal line, but Chaussette scoring again. And he was scoring some goals in Oxygen's run. When they took BDS, so they at least got a game off BDS in the winners bracket after they had just beaten Team Queso. It was when Chaussette had found his scoring boots again for the first time in a very long time. So it bodes well that he's keeping that form up. It's one of the things that I said on the broadcast, that if Chaussette can continue to do that, then maybe Oxygen will once more become the team we all expected them to be. Beating Dignitas in that game 4 over there. They actually lost the first 2 games against Dignitas in their 4-3 loss to them. So they started that series slowly. This one they've started much better. So more good signs for Oxygen. Are they finally peaking towards the end of winter?
Maybe. I mean, the thing is, they always did well in grid. That, for some reason, even when they were doing, quite frankly, terribly throughout RLCSX, they always did an amazing job in grid. I believe they came 3rd in the end in fall, but they were number 1 for like almost all of it. Yeah, I think there's a very good possibility that they have actually found their footing. But my worry is maybe it was just Astral, or it does continue to be just Astral having an incredible day. Because that's what happened when they faced Dignitas, and he was a hard carry, quite frankly, versus Dig. Doesn't seem to be today, in fairness, but I'm sure that lots of teams right now have got their eyes on Astral once again, as transfers will be opening up at some point for some of these teams.
Well, I haven't seen Astral's name too much. He got the dunk that set up Ferrer for Oxygen's second goal there, but I know what you're talking about. Oh my goodness, what a double tap that was from Apparently Jack. I always love a double tap to get Dignitas back in that one. There are games where...
play as well.
Yeah, beautiful. There are games where you see Astral's name over and over again, and as they did take Dignitas to that Game 7 in the RCSX, Astral was the key component of that. He was by far and away the best player on the pitch, in my opinion, let alone for Oxygen Esports. Whereas, from what I see of this game in the bottom right now, I'm not getting that same sense. They seem more balanced, and Oxygen can be a very balanced team. Ferrer, in my opinion, is always at his best when he is looking to get forward. He's a very strong third man, don't get me wrong, but when he's playing more aggressively and getting himself some space to shoot, that's when Oxygen have always looked at their most dangerous, and that's the Oxygen that I'm seeing today from them. So I don't think it's an Astral carry just yet, but it could be, and that's the thing. If they need it, that's when Astral can suddenly pop up. You've just thrown away a 2-goal lead, and then he gets a double flip reset, and he wins the game for you, you know? So it's a great weapon to have in the pack.
I'm just looking at some of the stats from the Dignitas versus Oxygen game over in RLCS, and just to like compare the scores before like diving too deep into anything, because that takes effort. Jorius was at the top with an average score in that series of 395. Second was Astral. Then it's Jack and Panda. So Astral had 362. Under 300 points are then Shawset and Ferrer. So he was the big carry in that series. I'm sure they know it as well, and I think that's okay. But I think what amazed me so much in that series was how much Jorius wanted to take it to Astral, who whenever Astral tried to do anything mechanical, Jorius would watch and just hit copy-paste and want to do it just a bit better.
Yeah, of course. The stakes are always so high when Dignitas and Oxygen do play. Of course, for anybody who doesn't know, Astral was a former Dignitas player, as he may well have just put the stake in their heart right there with that goal. And the split was... It wasn't completely acrimonious, but it could have been... It could have been nicer on both sides, I think, that history will say. So Astral certainly wants to beat Dignitas, probably more than most teams. And so to see him finally start to at least get close to doing that, and it's looking like he will do it now, will be massive for Astral. And for Ferrer and Chaussette, because they won't want to let their teammate down when he is as genius as he is.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, he needs to be pushed at every single opportunity, but also sort of reinforce that he is the best. So like, you are the best, but keep going, because people look at how much people love you and how much you are respected in the community in sort of in that in those terms as well. So no, he's a great player. I look forward to seeing what else he continues to do, because he fell off for me. I think he fell off for a lot of people. I wasn't impressed with him for a long time on Oxygen. I thought his move was a little bit silly maybe from Dig, just from a player perspective, not from the behind the scenes perspective. So yeah, no, it's definitely going to be a good opportunity for Astral to really flex and show what he can do.
Triple Trouble in the bottom left have just forced a Game 5 versus Giants Gaming. Triple Trouble, who had a really good run in the RLCSX Regional recently, beating Redemption and beating Vitality in the lower bracket before running out of energy and losing to Endpoint. And then Galaxy Racer and Wolves Esports continues to remain closer than I dared believe, because, as I was saying earlier, each week, I said that Wolves Esports can be a really good team. I love their dynamic, and they end up losing. And I expected Galaxy Racer to actually take this one quite comfortably. But Wolves are really putting a fight on yet again. And these are the sorts of games that they've been getting so close in and then losing. But looking at it now, Wolves are actually getting a lot of pressure, which Galaxy Racer are struggling to deal with. So more good signs for Wolves Esports, in my opinion.
And also a potential overtime. Never mind. Okay, ignore that. Ignore that. Top left. Don't even look at that goal from Arju. Top Blokes take a game versus Liquid. They go to 5. Oxygen have taken down Dignitas, and Triple Trouble versus Giants are already in their game 5. So very close games going on so far in this first round. Nobody getting swept.
It might be an overtime if Wolves Esports can score a goal in the next 15 seconds. So everybody keep a close eye in the top left of your screen. It could be over here if this goes in. Oh, no, not quite. And also in Game 4, Top Blokes have just 4-1'd Team Liquid. So is the Team Liquid Game 5 curse going to happen again? They don't win too many of them, do Team Liquid. So it's going to be tough for them. Bear in mind as well that Team Liquid had just 3-0'd Top Blokes the last time these two met in that most recent regional. So Team Liquid will be feeling confident going into Game 5, but I think that with the momentum, Top Blokes should do it.
Well, Galaxy Racer very much pulled away from Wolves, 3-1 now. I've also been sent a picture, Cool,
Okay.
of the series by game length, by pure game time, sent to us from FiniDT, the guy who does all of the stuff on Octane GG, amazing stats Twitter account, showing the longest series that we have had, right? And I don't know, looking at it now, if it counts the two series of the bracket reset as one series.
No.
Or not.
It won't do, because if it did, then the famous bracket resets that we've had in our time, Season 6 et al., and Season 5 as well, actually, would be in that, surely. It's because two average size series is longer than any one long series.
Yeah.
So it must not, which is a bit of a shame. I'd like to see the same table with bracket resets included, because to me...
That's what I want, yeah.
To me, it does count as well, because...
Agreed.
Monkey Moon did play 13 games in a row, even though it was between two series, for example. So he had to dig deep for that length of time, and that to me is what makes those stats interesting. So that's the table I want to see.
Yeah. If anybody wondering, the longest is Vitality versus Dignitas in the play back in 2018. The series lasted for just over 58 minutes. And Cole, can you tell me why it lasted so long?
Because there was a 19-minute overtime. Was it 19 minutes?
18:35 or something like that.
I was rounding
18
up.
something, yeah.
Rounding up to 19.
That's fair.
Yeah.
But the longest overtime that we've had in like Pro Rocket League.
That was Danny and Digital Bacon Gaming casting, wasn't it? Danny, you can see there on the top right of your screen.
Was it? Oh god.
I think it was him and Bacon who were casting that one. I believe it was someone and Bacon. It might not have been Danny and Bacon.
I'm intrigued. I think you might be right. Well, I mean, they are clear of second place by 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Well. Like, second place is 48 minutes 40. They played for nearly an hour because of that 18-minute overtime.
It was in the finals as well. And looking at this top 10, the longest one ever, the one you were talking about, Random Vitality v Dignitas, that was the finals. Third place, Rogue v Pittsburgh Knights, April 8th, 2020. And the Spring Skirmish, that was the finals. We've got a nice Cactus finals in there. We've got the RLC Pro League finals, Rival Spring Open 2018 finals, and RLCX The Grid Europe Full Week 2 between Random Vitality and Vodafone Giants. Oh, that's playoffs, not finals. So we've got about 4 or 5 finals in there out of 10. So apparently, when everything is on the line, that's what seems to encourage these long series, which is the way we'd like it, right?
Yeah. We're also seeing our man on the inside, our boots on the ground, FiniDT.
Okay.
He is gonna be. He said it will take some effort, and I'm taking that to mean, why have you asked me to do this? I'm on it. So thank you, Finn, for doing that, pal. We appreciate you. And let us know what the final result is. To be honest, I want to know if it's the longest. I imagine it would be because of the overtimes as well. It's either that one or another, obviously, like bracket reset.
Yeah, I think it must be that one because of how close both games were. Even if you look at Space Station Gaming v Envy in the NA regional recently, that was 4-3 to Envy. Sorry, 4-3 to Space Station Gaming the first one. After that, Envy won 4-0. So normally one team just fades away after that, but there were no signs of that in this recent regional.
Season 6 finals. Oh, we got an overtime. We can discuss this in a little bit. Let's go. RLCSOT, spam it.
I typically only am slightly biased, but I'm heavily biased right now. I need this. I've been building up this narrative of triple trouble improvement for 4 straight weeks. Tadpole can't quite find the goal, and I really would love a Giants win to just put the icing on the cake. How Giants not scored? Because we have the lucky charm. Calyx. No shot for him. Zamway right on top of it. But here comes Bluey. Calyx was hoping to dive into Itachi. but didn't even turn ball cam off. It was definitely just a jump and pray. Tadpole. No chance. Zamway and Itachi. That's not a good touch for Bluey, and that's going to be a Giants goal. What? Oh, I thought they totally screwed it, but they were just messing around. This BM. This is straight BM. What are you doing, Itachi? No! No! I'm hurt. Oh, I'm not that hurt. We played that even better than we played Giants during...
One of the most calculated goals you will ever see there at the end. Teasing poor old Triple Trouble. Speaking of teasing, by the way, oh my goodness, how close was that to a goal for Galaxy Racer, and they do sneak it in at the end. So Galaxy Racer 2-1 up versus Wolves, but Giants do win out over poor old Triple Trouble. What do you reckon their comms were like in that moment? Do you think they thought they got away with it? Did they dare to dream Triple Trouble?
I think you have to think, because if I look back and I see anybody dropping their controller before the game ends, I need to have words, because I hate that.
I know.
You do it, yeah.
But it's like, when you know, it's cooler to stop moving.
No, it isn't cooler, because you're not cool anyway. Like, the issue is, right, when it doesn't happen, and then suddenly you need to pick it up and you're like, oh, they didn't score! And I'm like, yeah, I know they didn't score, but I'm still moving, mate, so there's no problem.
Yeah, but you're moving to the complete wrong place of the pitch normally.
But at least I'm moving, at least I look cool.
Cooler. We'll never look cool.
Cool.
All right, fair enough.
Cool. You can't use my insult, how dare you? That was a biting, personalised insult of you'll never look cool, how dare you?
Sorry, I forget that I'm the only one of us that's not cool, and you are very
Thank
cool.
you.
2 games left. Galaxy Racer and Wolves, and it's looking like Galaxy Racer are going to see it away. And Team Liquid versus Top Blokes, which is approaching the end game now. I was a little bit worried about Team Liquid collapse, but it doesn't seem that that's what we're getting over there.
No, not at all. I mean, Top Blokes, again, just having a bit of a struggle. Give this 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, and it's Top Blokes winning. Like, it's realistically no problem for Top Blokes to win. They would just probably top their group. But this is now that point on the graph where Liquid are on their upward trajectory and Top Blokes are on their downward spiral. And this is where they meet. And it looks like it's pretty much stalemate.
Have you noticed how nobody ever has an upward spiral?
I guess if you're going up, you're normally more controlled than a spiral.
You could have a staggered ascent, but never an upward spiral. You know, if someone goes up and down and dips in form, you spiral out of control, you'd spiral downwards. Why is spiral a negative? Well, I look at the Moustache's icon, and that's got spirally moustaches, and I think they look cool.
That's very true. I think maybe, mate, you need to be the change you want to see in the world. And you make spiraling positive. Okay,
how do we do it? What's the phrase?
Well then, okay, the phrase is, you put me on the spot here.
Galaxy Racer are spiraling upwards with that victory versus Wolves.
Spiraling upwards. So you're just going straight in for the
swap it.
For the. It's not even a juxtaposition. It's just the comparison, really, right?
Yeah, sure. Why not? Sorry, I'm getting distracted because this game's got a few seconds left. Let's see. Team Liquid can bring it back and force what would be a massive RLCSOT. Go on, Monarchy, please. No, don't save that, though. Just let it go in.
Double?
No, they've got the backboard covered. He's got the second touch.
Still up. Roniki's there as well.
I can just imagine Danny and Boy are going crazy right now. Speed!
Oh, he had to get that as well, didn't he?
Yeah, I tell you what, though. Top Blokes, they're spiraling back to the top.
Spiraling upward, mate. They are spiraling upward. Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. Top Blokes, in the end, managed to win it. It does take them 5, however, so not as confident as that would have been previously. And I'm still not convinced about Top Blokes. I know, Cole, that you called their downfall. They are still... You did, and I genuinely don't know why you keep saying no.
I didn't call their downfall. I asked the question, are they going to start to struggle in form? It's because I don't think they're on their downfall. I think they're in bad form. So when you say I called their downfall, that makes it seem like I think they're only going to continue to spiral sideways and then downwards instead of spiral upwards. I think they're going to be absolutely fine, but they certainly are struggling for form right now. However, the fact that we're discussing this after a victory shows how good they were. We should get across that despite our conversation, they did win and joint top Group B right now.
And this is how the groups are going to be looking. So, Galaxy Racer and Vodafone Giants, they lead their groups. They lead that group. Group A, Triple Trouble and Wolves sitting at the bottom. In Group B, Top Blokes and Oxygen win out versus Liquid and Dignitas, respectively. And C and D, Cole, are going to be kicking off in this next hour, aren't they?
Yes, so as we said at the beginning, there's sort of a spread in grids in this new grid format, where for the first hour, it's just A and B. The second and third hour, the next 2 hours now, they're the big ones. So in the next hour, the next round of games, we've got Group A, we've got Group B, we've got Group C, and we've got Group D. There will be 8 series, I believe, going on at the same time, which is absolutely insane. I think a beauty right there. And that is all we've got time for until this break. So stick around, everybody. We'll be back in a few minutes where those next games will begin.
Okay, somebody clip this. Can we get a clip? I got Oh my goodness, what a save!
But sliding it right on in, are you kidding me? Rodoko.
Oh my God! Unbelievable! The defense crumbles! The tank is empty! And we are going to overtime!
I was all alone. Then you showed up under my umbrella. Oh, shelter from the cold. Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? Where do we go from strangers down, lost in time with one another? The hourglass takes us further from here. Strangers down, lost in time with one another. The hourglass takes us further from here. Strangers found, lost in time with one another. The hourglass takes us further from here. I was all alone. Then you showed up under my umbrella. Oh, sheltered from the cold. Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? Strangers found, lost in time with one another. The hourglass takes us further from here. Strangers found, lost in time with one another.
Backfire. Remember that?
That's
Remember
the
the
car he
backfire?
scored his 14-second hat trick with. He scored his 14-second hat trick in the backfire.
Banged it. He banged it. And I was like, oh, that front grill on the backfire slaps.
And then everyone immediately was like, you know what? Backfire's too OP. We're gonna make it the Octane hitbox. Game over. Standardized. Get wrecked.
And then they'll give Merc its own hitbox, and
What has Jorby got?
well,
and it was
no
all
one
thrown
uses
out the
it.
window.
No one uses
Okay.
Merc.
Oh, blue. and
Nice
orange.
mug.
But
Jorby, you gotta help me out
Thank
here.
you.
Do guys
RLCS.
gonna be blue
What?
or orange?
For the
It's
mug
okay,
what?
I'm
I
about
always have
to-
to pay
I
problems.
need
It's
to-
not a cheese
I'm about
mug,
to have
we
to
still get
switch
it.
mine too.
I need to re-unlock it because I've got the. No, you can have two. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, I actually copied Achieves with my mug. Mine's like a flowery mug and everything.
It's not as blue though. It's trying. It's so close. It's just not quite got the shade right.
It's very fair. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Grid Overtime. I am Stumpy. He is Cole, and we are here to watch some goals.
Nice. It almost rhymes. Beautiful. It does rhyme. It's lovely. So yes, we've seen our first set of games where Oxygen, Top Loads, Galaxy Racer, and Giants Gaming won theirs, and now we go again. And I'm scanning my BDI around all these
Shogun.
games, and the thing that I see the most
Shogun's
is
head.
that Ian Chambers' hair is a hat.
Is
The
it a
thing I
hat?
see second the most is that Team Vitality are up against Team BDS, and the shockwaves of such a series, Stumpy, are scaring me. I'm terrified by it, by the prospect.
Vitality are already 2-0 up and everything. If I could pick, and if we didn't have to act as the hub stream, right? Wow, those saves in the bottom, on the right-hand side. If we didn't have to act as the hub stream, I would happily just watch BDS.
Top, just look on the right now. Cash is so good. Look at Cash be Cash. I dislike that he's in an Octane, but I like this goal.
Oh,
A
that's
Doomsy
so
dish
good.
off the post. I'm not sure I've seen that before.
Does that count as a dish, though? Because he came from the side
Was it a bit
wall.
sidey?
I think he came from the side wall rather than the backboard, and he didn't dish it in.
Okay. Okay, in that case, it was just
I think it was a
a
double
regular, a more standard finish, but oh my goodness, what a finish it was.
Amazing. Yeah, Cash is brilliant.
I
That's
played.
why Redemption over in the RLCS recently, losing to Triple Trouble 3-1 was a massive shock. But then Triple Trouble then went on to beat Vitality as well. So they actually did really well that day.
Yeah, I mean, Redemption were always going to have a few tough losses in their time after popping off so much at the start of this split. But I was going to say, I played some games in Ranked with Cash, and I've played with a few pros in my time. They've carried me a lot, right? But playing with Cash is just something different. I was genuinely fanboying, going around the pitch, just giggling at like, he'd go up for it, and I'd think, even Cash, there's no chance he gets that. And somehow he not only would beat our opponents, and the opponents weren't that highly rated. He was on his main account, but it's only sort of 1700 MLR, which for him is just stupidly slow, right? And I'd be thinking, even Cash, he's not going to be able to get that. And yeah, he'd beat our opponents to the ball, and somehow it would stick to him, and suddenly he'd be air dribbling, and I've got an open goal because he's pinched it perfectly onto the back wall. It's like, how? That's literally not possible. So I had a
fully
great time.
expect him to be picked up. Like, if he doesn't... If Redemption don't get an org, which they definitely should, then I really expect that Cash has got to be one of the hottest kids on the block right now.
Yeah,
Because he is up there mechanically with the best.
yes, I would say that he is certainly top 3 mechanically in EU right now.
Top
I
three?
can't think of too many that beat him. Astral,
Doria's,
Doria's,
Alpha.
yeah.
Fairy.
I mean, I said that Alpha was second best in the pre-show, but I wouldn't say Fairy is
Monkey
better
Moon?
than Cash mechanically. Monkey Moon is quality and is speedy, but I don't think he's quite as flary. He doesn't have to be as flary because he has better game reads than anybody else. I'd say Astral, Joria's, Alpha, and Cash would be my 4 dream team mechanically.
I think you have to have Monkey Moon in there to have the, because I think he doesn't go for the flashy stuff, but he's absolutely got that in his locker because
That's
of
fair.
how well equipped he is, if you get me. I think Fairy Peak's also up there, to be honest. I think Cash is in the top 5-6 conversation, like 100%, like regardless.
Fairy Peak is the exact same way as you just described Monkey Moon, in that he can quite happily have a game and just double tap aerial, hit the ball cleanly. He's not that bothered. He doesn't have an ego with his mechanics, I think, is the distinction there. Whereas with Astral and with Cash, and probably Alpha as well, I think. And I mean, this is a compliment. They do have an ego with their mechanics. They have to do things in a special way because they're that unique level of excitement in Rocket League. It's always fascinating to me, the different, the minutiae of all these play styles that we have of these pro players.
We're entering the last minute for a couple of these games now. So Vitality are 4-0 up against the current winners, the champions of Europe, versus BDS. So they've got 45 seconds left. Vitality have pretty much taken the first game. Redemption, again, have beaten Rick's GG in their first game. Just 4 goals in it. So, you know, Rick's, fair play. You did a job. Approaching the final minute now for Liquid versus Oxygen, currently 0-0. And Singularity are 2-0 up versus Fadeaway, who have announced they are going to be splitting up. So, an odd dynamic on that team right now, for sure.
Yeah, it's Tigri who just conceded, who they've said they're going to be dropping as well. So this is his swan song for the team. They're trying to get involved against former grid winners, Team Singularity. And you mentioned the fact that Vitality are 4-0 up. This is a bottom table clash, really, or it's a mid-table clash with both teams perched precariously over the relegation zone. Oxygen Esports are on 110 total points in the grid, and they've just recently got that win against Dignitas, taking them to 120. Team BDS are on 130, and Team Vitality are on 140. So if BDS have a shocker today, end up going up against a top team tomorrow and losing in the first round, which could well happen, despite their regional brilliance, other than that, they have been very shaky. It's really feasible that BDS are going to drop in promo relegation for the next split of the grid. Which, it doesn't excite... That annoys me, because that shouldn't be, right? Because they're so much better
They
than
should,
that.
they should just be, like... even if not winning, in the top 3 conversation in every single event that they enter. Because that's the team that they are.
Yeah, it implies to me that maybe they see the grid as a chance to, you know, to have some fun and be a little bit more chill, whereas when it's a regional, that's when it really matters. But I'm not sure I approve of that mindset. Because as soon as you start to think that, then form can get away from you quickly. You know, it could just be coincidence that they happen to play better in regionals, but at this point, there's enough evidence to suggest that it's part of their mentality, I think. And I think that BDS should be doing a lot better than that overall.
Oh, bottom right. There was an absolute screamer of a shot that came in. Oh my gosh, I can't see it anymore. There was a screamer of a shot that came in, though.
Talk us through it, like we were there.
I think it was Caleb who shot it, and it ricocheted off the crossbar after it was sent on there by a BDS defender, and there were 2 people in net. And it must have been going near 100 miles an hour. Not kilometers, near 100 miles an hour. It was so fast. Then it's just a tap into Fairy Peak, but it looked cool.
It doesn't have to be flashy, does Fairy Peak. He doesn't care. And there, bottom left, is another goal for Fadeaway up against Team Singularity.
How is that team playing right now? Because, people that don't know, there was the original announcement that Tigre was being dropped from Fadeaway. So the team is made up of Freaky, Yukio, and Tigre. And Tigre being dropped, then left 2 out of 3. But now Yukio and Freaky are sort of saying to themselves and have posted saying, we don't even know if we're staying together, like going forwards, going through the RLCS. So I don't know how you continue playing through that, to be honest.
I believe
Is this just a CV?
I believe that they have said that they are not playing together now as well. I think. I could have misremembered that one, but as far as I'm aware,
this is just a CV for them right now, just showing, hey, look, I'm better than the other 2.
Yeah, well, a CV and also a chance to win some money. You know, there's still money on the line here, which they could well win should they play well. I think that's what they'll have in mind. Anyway, hang about. That's why Vitality are winning. Look at that beautiful vehicle in the bottom right. Not that one, not the Fennec. Fairy Peak using a Batmobile. Hello, is this 2018? I'm so excited right now. Bit of a poor first touch there. Has let Team BDS have a chance, which they almost score from. But the Batmobile recovery is because the Batmobile has such long reach. It's like a big old boxer with 3-foot arms, just reaching out, getting that ball, swiping it away. It's the best car in the game, Stumpy, and I don't care what anybody says because the Fennec is boring.
What everybody
Batmobile
says.
Look at that touch. Oh, he's almost.
Go. Look at that, baby. You couldn't have scored that in any other vehicle, an Octane would have stopped too soon, and he wouldn't have scored an own goal. But thankfully, the reach of the Batmobile does secure Fairy Peak that own goal. It's brilliant. What a car.
He's a big old boxer with just long, clumsy arms. He's just walking through a china shop, swinging his arms all over the place. There's broken china everywhere. Nobody knows what's going on. But ask him to get something off a high shelf, and he is your man.
Hey, I get asked to do that frequently. It's nice. It's good. I always oblige, and I always answer any questions people have. Or I'll offer as well. If I see an old person like trying to stretch, you'll ask like, "Oh, how tall are you?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm just this tall." And they're like, "Oh, cool."
Your knees ache.
Do you get asked to like help out, like getting stuff off shelves? Often. I'm like, yeah, quite often. It's nice. I like it.
I would have thought
It's
you'd
really
have
useful.
better stock answers if you're always asked the questions. How tall are you, and do you get asked to take stuff off shelves quite often? Knowing you, like, do you not have any comedy answers in the bank?
No, I'm not. Why would I'm not going to do
just break-
comedy in the middle of Aldi.
Just break into a bit.
No, I'm not gonna bit an old lady. I'm just gonna tell her the facts. I'm not gonna try and confuse her, bless her.
Just be like, oh, what's
I'm
the
just gonna-
deal?
No, I'm gonna give her the facts. I'm just gonna say, she's like, oh, how tall are you? I'm like, oh, 6'5", 6'6", and she's like, oh, what's that in centimeters? I'm like, oh, 199. She's like, okay, cool. If you get asked this often? Oh, yeah, quite often. She's like, and they normally say, I'm so sorry. But I'm like, no, that's good. No, I like sort of use my powers for good. A little joke. And she's like, oh, yeah.
Wait, sorry, love, why is it that you said 6'5", 6'6", but you knew for a fact that you were 199 centimeters?
Because it's like 6'5.5", I think. But that just seems too petty to say that.
Say 1. I mean, it's more petty to think that they'll
1
actually...
centimetre.
No, choose which one of
Well
them to
done,
say.
mate. They're not the same, are they?
Because it's more petty to assume that they'll look you up and down and go, oh, I don't know if you are quite 6'5". I think you're...
No.
maybe
I'm not
half
saying that they
taller."
will know. I'm saying
just
that
say
if
1.
I say... Well, no, because a lot of people don't know, might not know one or the other. A lot of people are switching centimetres nowadays. Or I might bump into a European, and they don't know feet and inches, you know? And metric system is best system.
Okay.
It's like weight as well. I know my weight. Now I do. I weigh myself today. In kilograms, and I also know it in stone and pounds.
I'm a
I
stones
don't know it
man.
in just pounds.
I can't visualize what... I can visualize pounds because of the Simpsons episode where Homer wants
Like
to
a
be
sugar.
300. But kilograms, I don't have any idea. If you said to me you're 120, I don't know what that means.
Jesus.
Is that a lot?
That's a lot. Yeah.
Is it?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
fair enough. But that's my point. I don't really have a...
Imagine someone's just in
Go
chat
for
who
that.
weighed themselves today of 120, and I was like, "Jeez!"
Yeah,
I'm
no,
like,
exactly.
If that's your personal journey, then you are somebody's goal right now. No matter what weight you are somebody's goal, and that's always the way to look at it.
That's true. Somebody's goal that I really liked earlier on was Fairy Peaks and that Batmobile. I'm hoping that we see a clip of that
Very good.
on the
Very
subreddit
good.
later on that beautiful Batmobile. Triple trouble.
Yeah.
4-0 up against Galaxy Racer in the
Are you trying to
second
segue?
game over there. And Flame has just scored for Top
You
Blokes.
trying to
Stumpy Goblin.
segue? You segueing out of interest, just so I can know sort of the feel that we're going for.
Yeah, what we're going to do is talk about Rocket League now, like that beautiful redirect from Flame.
What do you mean, like that beautiful redirect? Was that talking about Rocket League, was it? That beautiful redirect?
Goals such as... Stop trying to be meta to show off the Twitch chat.
I'm showing off my mates. Oh, that double save top right. Panda just saved one on the right-hand side of the goal and then flipped, landed on the side of the goal, jumped central, and then flipped into another save. Then Casio scores anyway, which is harsh. So Top Blokes are going ahead versus Dignitas. What is happening with Top Blokes?
I'm not sure. Maybe they are back. Maybe they needed that Game 5 win versus Team Liquid to just give them back their confidence, saying, look, if we can beat Team Liquid, of all teams, we've beaten Team Liquid in a deciding game. Oh my goodness, we can do anything.
Maybe that's all it is. But Top Blokes are an unusual bunch of lads. You know, they've been teasing recently on Twitter, saying about the new org. I have lost my patience with them. I know you have as well. I inadvertently absolutely ratioed their coach the other day, where he tweeted just quite a nice tweet, really. And he just sort of said that he was looking forward to today. Like, oh, today's going to be a good day, he said.
Smiley face.
And smiley face, and then like the fingers crossed emoji. I then replied saying, no offense, but literally shut up and announce your org. And I got near double his life.
Oh, that's
And
not bad.
it's not bad, is it? So, Rams, if you're listening, pal, I literally, and I mean this honestly, and I mean it as a mate, I do not care about how your day is going, about how any of the day is going at Top Blokes HQ. Lunaris as well, the woman who runs the social account and does all of their marketing stuff. I straight up do not care. The next tweet out of Top Blokes on Twitter has to be an announcement, because I am losing my rag with you.
Okay, well, I mean, a couple of questions. One, I hope that Rams isn't listening to you right now, because presumably he is coaching his brilliant team through this potential win versus Dignitas. Secondly, endpoint CEX versus Guild is getting very, very close to an overtime in the bottom left. Guild took game 1. These guys have a lot of history against one another in the grid, playing each other pretty much in the full split every single week.
God, what do we do at
Who's
0?
going to take this game 2? If it hits 0, everyone, type RLCS OT. The second that ball touches the ground, which is now, spam RLCS OT!
You didn't deliver.
It's your birthday.
No. But I was trying to guilt trip them into giving me a goal.
I was gonna say,
I should have run with that, shouldn't I? Just an entire show getting you to think it's my birthday. Yeah. Don't suppose you can forget the last few sentences in this conversation.
Right, we're in overtime. We want to get the dub in this game right here. I just want to let you guys know, if you join us for the first time, make sure you hit that follow button. If you're not following us across the board on socials either, then you can do at Guild Esports on Twitter and Instagram. Also, let me talk about merch, because there's nothing we need to talk about on here right now. Merchandise. Guild merchandise. You can get it.
We know what you meant.
Yeah.
Bumped, demoed, whatever.
Okay. That's endpoint taking that game versus Guilds. Now we can have a little gander at Singularity versus Fadeaway. Another overtime.
So he just tried to keep it in the... Oh! Hips with the free shot. Oh, what a save by Yukio. That was
a little awkward. Honestly, that should have been a goal. But
well, it shouldn't have been, but then it should have been. You know?
Philosophical. That is deep, my man. Nice bum there from Hibbs, giving Breezy some space.
Breezy with space gets it over Yukio, but Tigray is gonna have a big clear here. Scrap catches it, however. Not going for pass on Breezy. We do not see many infield passes here. I feel like SNG really respects the game sense of the fadeaway players. Freaky with the 1v1 going for the bump, but just barely misses it. That could have been it.
I mean, every one of these shots could have been it, but they're not it yet.
Ah, Breezy so fast.
Freaky has a free shot here, but gets blocked nicely.
Let's just know. Ooh, Tigray?
Tigray is not the most mechanical player on the fadeaway,
so calm on that.
but he does well.
He did not even care. He has no respect for Tigray whatsoever.
Oh! Oh, what a play!
Yeah, well, there's your
SNG
infield
Twitter team
pass.
did not clip that. I was a bit toxic.
There's your infield pass that you were talking about.
There is, and it's just brilliantly done by both of them.
Very clean.
A lot of players would have maybe gone for a double touch there, but Breezy saw like the tiny gap in the defense and just smacked it in. No jump, just right and pew.
Pew pew. And again, Breezy.
Predictably, Singularity beating Fadeaway right there in that second game. One would assume they'll go on to win that series, even before they were 2-0 up. I think that should be a comfortable win for the former victors, Singularity. Elsewhere, we have got Vodafone Giants 4-0 up in the second game against Wolves Esports, looking to get immediately to continue their winning ways after their victory earlier against Triple Trouble that went all the way to overtime. Team Liquid and Oxygen looking like a really close one in the top right. 1-1 in game 3 with a little bit over a minute left. So one to look forward to potentially in OT Watch. And then Redemption, our boys Stumpy, to get back into form versus Rix GG. And oh my goodness, please go in. So close to being a beautiful catch and flick. They still might score from it, but they haven't yet. But yeah, long story short is that Redemption have found their groove again by the looks of things.
Good. Cole, can you sound the stats alarm?
Stats! Stats! Stats!
God, turn it off. Jeez. Okay. So we have got some stats now, again from Finna DT, the lad who runs or helps run the Octane GG account. Loads of awesome stats coming out of there. And he told us earlier about the longest single series in Rocket League that we've had so far, competitive Rocket League. He had to go back through and look at the bracket resets. Like manually go back and look at them to see which ones were the longest. So we were looking to see which is the longest series we've had so far. Giants versus BDS, if we take out the monthlies, which have been advised apparently, taking out any of the monthlies that have happened, Giants versus BDS was the second longest series in competitive Rocket League that we have had at 75 minutes and 9 seconds. The longest, Cole, is Cloud9 versus NRG in the Astronauts Pro Invitational that lasted 79 minutes and 58 seconds, which was a double Game 7 bracket reset. So they went the full 14 and lasted nearly 80 minutes.
So we were 4 minutes away from matching that. All that would have taken would be a few more overtimes that lasted just a little bit longer. And speaking of overtimes, Stumpy, everybody spam your RLCSOTs because it's Team Liquid versus Oxygen. Let's cut to it.
Well, and Fruity wanted a piece of the end of that. With how panicky both teams have been defensively, I really do feel like just the defensive posture is... It's at the same time, it's the right play to go for and also a big risk, because if you're not defending all that calmly and you then focus on just standing off, you're going to have to do more defending. But at the same time, you're going to probably reliably wait for a mistake from your opponents. Astral, under a bit of pressure there, Chaussette's going to relieve him off it, even though I think Astral had that covered. Dodged the demo very well. Now Astral, big angle on the double here, he's missed it. Farah's got him backed up. And Astral collects this one in the midfield. That's a great play by Astral. Will he get a useful center off this? Goes in off the ceiling for it. Team Liquid had some nice positioning and defense. They spread themselves out. They had the back wall, the infield pass, and the direct shot covered there. Ronicky demos on his exit. That's going to give Team Liquid a possession play. Fruity's waiting in the middle, but his timing of his arrival is a bit too early there. Lost momentum, had to turn around. Now Farah dribbles out of defense. Fake challenge is still being utilized by Speed to break down the Oxygen offense. This is what was lacking earlier on from Team Liquid. Speed's been putting them to good use. Astral outplays 2 down the line. Fruity should have this covered though. But it's back in the middle by Astral. He's going to follow up on his own play. It's off the bar, and Chaussette's at the back post. Fakes the shot, comes in for the second try. Farah off the post. Chaussette almost rebounds from point blank range. And he allows Astral to come in on the rotation. Speed pops it long. Farah's there. Not too high up the pitch on that one. And somehow we've reached over 2 minutes into overtime here. A long time with no teams scoring. Ronicky might do just that. Oh, he's just hit the post with it. It was a tough angle. You'd expect Ronicky to bury that. That's really what he's well known for. Astral and Chaussette both up for the same ball. Astral's going to make sure to do something with it to buy Chaussette some time to get back into the game. Now Farah unable to block Fruity, who went low intentionally after seeing Farah coming at him. That's a nice recovery by Chaussette, utilizing a wave dash in the ceiling to propel him in the right direction. As we approach 3 minutes into OT, Chaussette straight up into the ceiling. Collides with Ronicky, who went straight for the ball there. Not giving Chaussette any chances. Fruity will do the same to Astral. The outplays are few and far between for Oxygen, but actually Farah with the infield dribble, and it's going to go in! Oh my goodness. Team Liquid with a disastrous outcome. You do not challenge the ball from that angle. I think that was Fruity there. Criminal 50-50 to be making. You know, this isn't season 1 of RLCS anymore, where you expect these kind of amateur 50-50s to be coming in. By now, everybody in the pro scene knows that if you go on the outside of the ball there, challenge sideways, there's a chance that you're going to pinch it into your own net. It is a well-known fact, and it has been for multiple seasons. That is just...
After all of that effort that Astral put in to get a gorgeous goal, Farah just gets a weird pinch in his own corner and scores it anyway. That is the dichotomy right now of what is happening on Oxygen, where Astral's trying to be perfect, trying to look amazing, and get some really cool goals, and yet Farah is the one who actually scores it.
Yeah, that's just the way it is, man. It's the way it will always be. And we may have another overtime, the second in a row in the series. Get ready to spam RLCSOT when this ball drops. Now, go, 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 go!
Spam!
Rocket League decided, nah. We'll give you overtime.
I don't want to say it yet. I want to wait for the chance. Good save for Singularity. We have 1 goal left to perform the sweep here. And Tim's almost worth it. Breezy is going to be mid for a pass here. Scrub is definitely looking for it. Breezy kind of pre-jumped it, just sadly ran out of boost at the end. Didn't get far enough above the ball to hit it down. Tigray with an awkward read.
But we
Breezy
still have
out
all
of
the
boost.
pressure.
He's going for a fake. Oh, what a play!
And it worked. The fake, the big brain.
The gamers.
Breezy with the brain. He's not only a freestyler, but he can use that little noggin of him.
I mean,
sometimes.
he did run out of boost, but that was very, very good by him to go for it nonetheless.
I'll give him the benefit of the doubt that he actually went for a fake there.
I mean, yeah. Because you couldn't reach. Yeah, it was good. That was a good play. That was a good play. It was definitely intentional.
We're both 1-1 for predictions. Very nice.
Yeah.
Eagle-eyed viewers may have noticed that the goal was given to RLCS Beethoven. There. What is one of my... Say again?
Have you got your title? Your RLCS analyst title, the tag?
Yeah, I just choose not to use it.
Yeah, we don't have our titles. And I know Scheist is watching this. I know the Rocket League Esports team are watching this, and they're thinking, Stumpy, you know that we DM you about this. And I'm like, Scheist, I don't care. I want my title, mate, all right? And I will go on strike. Cole will go on strike for me, actually, in place of me. So Cole will strike until I get my title.
Spam your RLCSOTs because we've got another overtime.
Give me my title. Give me my title. I want my title now.
Look at how many goalies they've got, but it doesn't matter how many goalies they've got if we can create that one chance that matters here and could make the difference in this overtime.
I mean, for crying out loud, Virtuoso has 7 shots. No one else has anywhere close to that. Tho has 3 saves. Noli has 2 saves as well. Although Devo has a shot. Metsonoris has a save of his own. Tho can't thread the needle this time around. Find the top corner. Noli will try for the double tap off the backboard, but not able to get a powerful enough shot on it. The attack's still on for Guild though, but Endpoint have it back in their hands.
Slight musty there from Vert means that Metza has to force the 50 after he doesn't quite find the mark, but you can see why I'd rather them just actually stay on defense.
Hashtag blame Ian.
Get those hashtag blame Ians coming in because he knew when I said.
You owe Devo so much here, mate.
I do.
He's demoed one, he's bumped the other.
Yes.
I think you need to go to your Twitter right now, Ian.
Yeah.
Open it up, create a new tweet, and thank Devo.
Okay, are we doing this now?
Yeah,
Let's do this now.
We don't delay the appreciation here, okay?
All right, I'm doing this as we speak.
He's so commanding, isn't he, Shogun? We don't delay the appreciation here.
The sad thing is he's not commanding with me anymore, which makes me think that he doesn't care anymore. He used to, tell me what to do for my career, and now he's just given up on me.
He doesn't care, does he?
He
doesn't care about us. He's got...
It's odd for Ian Chambers to have his full name and then Shogun just to be Shogun. It makes it look like Shogun only has one name and his name is Shogun.
Like Beyonce or Madonna or Jesus.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, that is Shogun. He is like
any other celebrities
Beyonce,
with only one
Madonna.
word? Prince?
I was going to say, before Prince turned his name into a symbol, was his name just Prince?
Maybe, yeah.
I'm not sure. Don't know enough about.
Wait, what do you think it was? Like Prince of Music?
No, like, I don't know. Bob.
That's a
Prince,
stupid name, Cole.
Bob
you think
Prince
it was
Charlton
Bob Prince
or something.
What? Right. What other people are there with just one word? Pope. There's Pope.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I guess his first name is the.
No, the thing is, Pope doesn't work because you get like it's Pope John, isn't it? I see him as Pope John.
No, not this one.
No,
not this one.
he's just Pope.
Someone just added me with Madonna. We've already got Madonna.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah. Eminem.
He's Marshall
Right,
Mathers,
why do you
though.
not like that?
Because listen, we're not talking about people with stage names because then you've got like Sting as well. We're talking about people
That's
who.
a good one, yeah.
No, but it's not because Listen, that's not the
Bono.
Right, stop saying words. The point is, we're talking about people that literally just have their one name, and it's a real name. It's what's on their ID. I believe Madonna just has Madonna on her ID.
You think on Madonna's ID, let's say she was born in like 1913 or whenever she was born, that it says Madonna. You don't think it says Madonna Johnson? Or whatever her last name is. What's Madonna's last name?
Beyonce has a last name.
Her
She's
last
Beyonce
name
Knowles.
is not Beyonce.
She's not Madonna Beyonce.
Her name is not Madonna Beyonce.
My point is that using that, using those guidelines, Beyonce doesn't fall into this because she was Beyonce Knowles. I don't know if she changed her name to Beyonce Z or whatever else when they got married. Okay. Footballers, Ronaldinho. Lots of Brazilians, as our production just said. Made a great point. Yeah, Ronaldinho.
But that's just is that not just his last name? Like you'd call Beckham Beckham, you wouldn't call him Dave.
Well, I don't know.
If you met David Beckham, would you call him Dave?
I don't know. Maybe if Gregan, Guild's coach, introduced him to me as Dave, I'd go, "You're right, Dave. Nice to meet you." I reckon David Beckham is the sort of celebrity that would shake your hand and say, "Hi, I'm David," and not assume that you know who he is. Because I know with you, when you're at events, somebody introduces themselves to you, you never say, "Hi, I'm Stumpy," because you assume they know, right? And if they don't,
yeah, because they should. And if ultimately, if they then
their
don't know who I am, then they're scum people.
Well, I wouldn't say that, but it's their loss. So yeah. Whereas I reckon David would say, "Nice to meet you. I'm David."
Do you reckon David Beckham would say to you, "Nice to meet you"?
He'd pay one of his entourage to say it.
So nice to meet you. What? So one of his entourage, a woman, says, "Hi, I'm David." and you're like, "What?" And he goes, on behalf of Mr. Beckham. And you're like, "Oh, right, okay."
I'll say, "Oh, thanks, David," and she'll say, "No, you can call him Mr. Beckham." I'll say, "Okay."
I walk in, and he goes, "Stumpy!" I'm like, "Dave!" Hello, mate. How's Romeo?
Oh my goodness. Okay, I look forward to this. I look forward to that. That's what we're waiting for with Lance. David Beckham turning up backstage. Squishy Muffin saying, "Sorry, mate, I'm trying to practice Rocket League here." As David Beckham tries to get his attention and say, "Hi, Squishy, I'm a massive fan."
Wants to hop on the sticks.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the dream. Go on, Squishy, give us a go. He's like, "Go away, Dave."
Wouldn't that be some great content? Squishy Muffins training David Beckham how to score an aerial.
That'd be amazing. I'd be so up for that. Can we get that going?
I bet he'd be annoyingly good. I reckon David Beckham would pick up the controller, and within an hour, he would be better than me. And I've got 6,000 hours on this game, I think. He's just that sort of guy.
You think he'd just be better?
Yeah, I genuinely do. He'd at least, maybe not better mechanics, but I do think if he'd watched me play for half an hour, he'd say, "Why have you gone for that? Rotate to the back post, surely." And I'll say, "Who's even said back post rotation to you?" And he's just like, "What? It's just logical. Makes sense."
It just makes sense. Do you think that David Beckham is just Giga Gregan?
Yes, essentially.
Is that your thought?
Yeah.
He just absorbs. He's a knowledge sponge. And everything just makes sense to him.
Exactly.
I hope so as well.
Yeah. Oh, what a goal from Anoto Rixronde. Wolves Esports. How would you say it? It was ANOTO.
Anoto Rixronde.
Yeah, it's in Spanish because it's a Giants broadcast. So instead of goal Rixronde.
Oh, I didn't see. I wasn't looking at that stream, so I just didn't know what.
Adelante.
Oh yeah, Adelante.
I like that one.
Yeah, I'll probably go with whatever you said. I don't remember the word.
I can't remember the word anymore. You've scrubbed it from my brain.
We have got just the worst memories, like, combined. It's truly awful. Queda un minuto. There's only one. There's only 1 minute left, Coco. Oh my gosh.
Go on, Wolves. I'm so desperate for Wolves to get themselves another game. Go on.
Top left, there are 10 goals scored.
Okay, let's start watching that one. 2 more goals for Triple Trouble. Galaxy Racer are on the cusp of winning this series. They're 2-1 up in games.
Just about with
left.
that overlay. Fix it, lads. Come on.
This would be a massive RCSOT if somehow this is the first one. Come on, Bluey. Oh, what a save. Jew. That is classic.
You actually mentioned, Cole, you want to teach people how to do their RLCS OTs. So tell them, how do people spam RLCS OT for when there is an overtime?
So everybody who is on PC or maybe mobile as well, click the little bubble icon which says your channel points. Then go to choose an emote to unlock. It's sort of a tealy colour. Click that, or turquoise. Click that for 920 channel points, and then you can get RLCS OT as a free emote. I'll let everybody practice now. Normally, we tell people to wait until there is an overtime to make it special. But just so everybody can see what it should look like, just type RRCSOT. Let's get a few of them in chat. Because basically, the reason I'm explaining this again is that I noticed during the last overtime, people were typing it out, which is great, a great start, but they hadn't unlocked the emote for free. So make sure you get that emote, and then you can spam it when it's right.
Yeah, you can also obviously drop a Prime Gaming or a Twitch sub, but this is the free way to do it. You know, let's not go crazy, guys. Let's just get 900 points, 920 points, spend them on that. Look at all of this. That's beautiful. Don't do too many. You will get timed out. Do like 8. I think 8 was the sweet spot. So chuck in 8 or so, and then next overtime, it's lowercase RLCS, capital OT, and it's all one word. All right, so make sure you're doing that. Lowercase RLCS, uppercase OT. And when there's an overtime, spam 8 of them.
I was just watching the Galaxy Racer broadcast because Achieves, he was flapping his arms around all over the place like a Batmobile user, like a boxer with long reach. And I was hoping there would be a mug at the end of those arms, clasped between those fingers. But it appears we are mugless right now, my friend. Galaxy Racer have just beaten Wolves, so they're happy. And they're 2-0 right now as well. He's waving. Yeah, he's literally saying...
Come on, Mugwatch.
He's saying, look at my hands. They contain no mug. He's mocking us. He's mugging us off.
I feel like a right mug.
Yeah, you should, man.
Come on. Come on, Achieves. Give us the mug. People wondering. Oh, Achieves! You tease me so.
Okay.
You cardigan-wearing beautiful man. Loves a little cardi.
He does. He looks good in his cardi as well. But he needs a big old cup of tea. Someone make Achieves a cuppa so he can show us that lovely mug again.
I reckon Achieves, when he's at someone's house, people might be able to relate to this. You're at someone's house and they say, oh, do you want a drink? And you say, obviously, you don't immediately say what you want. You say, oh, what do you have? Almost everybody is going to say, oh, we got like some squash and we got like tea and coffee or just some water if you want that. Great answers, cracking answers. Then he says, I'll have a cup of tea, please. And you're like, okay, cool. How'd you have it? I reckon he's a milk, no sugar kind of guy. I reckon he also says, because I'm already sweet enough. And you're like, no, that's funny. That's good. I like that, Achieves. And I reckon you make it for him. You brew it to the level that you think he'll like it. You give it to him. He waits a couple of minutes. You're having a nice conversation. You take a sip. Oh, sorry. He takes a sip. And then he goes, oh. I think he's an kind of guy. Where it's an utterly average cup of tea.
Yeah.
But he just likes and appreciates the effort that went into you brewing him a cuppa.
He'll do his little chuckle. He'll go, that is a good cuppa, I think he'll say. And I think because he's so wholesome, he asked for no sugar, right? I've forgotten. I accidentally put 2 sugars in. Oh no! I'll say that to him. I'll say, "Oh, Chiefs, I'm so sorry. I accidentally put a sugar in. Is that okay?"
Yeah, it's just a little treat.
Oh, thank you. I've actually got no more tea bags, so I was really worried when I did that was.
You've invited a guest over, and you don't have backup tea bags.
I've got one left.
This is now me. I'm sitting next to Chiefs. I didn't even want a cup of tea, but I'm annoyed on behalf of him. Sorry, mate. You've invited me and a Chiefs over for a cuppa, and you had one tea bag.
Sorry, no, I haven't invited you over for a cuppa, because if I'd invited you over for a cuppa, the first thing I'd have said wouldn't be, "Hi there, do you want some squash or some water?" I would have instinctively made you a cuppa. All right, so. Stop thinking that you knew exactly what was going to happen here, mate.
We've made Achieves cry.
No!
You've made Achieves cry. I'm sorry, Achieves. What's Achieves' name? Jason? I had straight up. What's Achieves' name? Roger? What's Achieves called?
He's a Simon. He's a Simon.
Is he called Simon?
He's got to be a Simon.
Tom?
Nah.
Greg? What is Achieves? I'm not Googling this.
Harry?
I'm thinking of his Instagram. His Instagram is Achieves TV, I think.
Could it be Harry?
I don't think it's Harry. It might be a Sam. Is he Sam?
There's a Michael in chat. Michael, I can see. There's a few Michaels. It might actually be Michael.
Is it Michael? Oh, his name's Michael Lol. Thanks, Frisch Frosh. Appreciate that.
Michael Lol.
His name's Michael Lol. Okay, so it's not Simon. It's not... And Michael Williams. Oh, what a name. That's a good name.
Michael Achieve Williams.
I think his middle name's Achieves.
Well, maybe he is. Maybe he's like Madonna.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he's another one-worder. That's true.
Achieves.
Achieves.
Yeah,
that's a good name as well.
He's changed his name to Achieves. One day when esports becomes prominent enough, we esports stars will change our name to Oli or to Scrub Killer or to Tho or whatever. That is just the way it's going to be. To compete at this level, you have to become the character, I believe.
Cole, it is now game 5, by the way, in endpoint versus Guild. I mean, keeping an eye on it, there have been so many chances for Guild as well, but endpoint are just about eking out this victory so far.
Meanwhile, Top Blokes have just beaten Dignitas, so Dignitas 0-2 on the day. And Wolves Esports, I mentioned Oli earlier because he was scoring a goal. I didn't actually realise the importance of that goal. Wolves Esports 2-0 up in game 5 versus Vodafone Giants. My boys are finally coming good. Their second win in the entirety of Winter Grid, if they can see this one away, Wolves Esports.
I've just seen that Scheist tweeted, didn't even use hashtag the grid, by the way. He said, Stumpy and Cole on the overtime stream. Quote, Scheist, give me my title now. I want my title. I want my title. Stumpy and Cole 5 minutes later after watching Guild Esports stream. Shogun is so demanding, isn't he? Overtime was a mistake. Thanks, Scheist. Give him my title.
Yeah,
Give
please.
us our titles, actually.
I'll say please.
I think this is a team effort.
Ceiling pass. Virtuoso
Ceiling pass.
pre-jumped a throw infield pass, and Virtuoso knocked it onto the ceiling, and then it was followed up by, I believe it was Devo, and Guild scored. So it was a ceiling own pass there from Virtuoso, and while that was occurring, Wolves went 3-0 up against Vodafone Giants. So that one about as done and dusted as it can be while still somewhat being alive on the right. But the game on the left is dangerously close to an RCSOT unless... Oh, my goodness, what a save! Oh, what a finish from Metz! Wow!
Okay, that was an amazing bit of play. Look at that pass, central. There's also the bump on the line, and Metz just rotates background and then skims the crossbar using my favourite goal explosion as well, Overgrowth. Oh, wow. Okay. Endpoint are just maybe eked themselves out the way of overtime.
And as one overtime probably doesn't happen, another one maybe begins to stir in Wolves Esports versus Vodafone Giants. I did say it was about as done a deal as it can be while still being alive, and Wolves have... They've hit the average of goals they need to score in the time they have. They've got one in the first 20 seconds or so. They still will need their second pretty soon. There's a little bit of life there.
Oh.
I'm going to be honest, I'm rooting for Wolves here. After Vodafone Giants have played so well recently, I want Wolves to do well. But Guild have a chance on the left.
Oh, that was... Sorry, people just heard me in the background going, because it was just Guild the entire time in the final 30 seconds, just pressuring the frick out of Endpoint's goal. But Endpoint, they end up taking it away. There will be no overtime. Endpoint take down Guild in their group. And now, Cole, I've just seen that Stake got a goal for Giants to potentially bring an overtime in if one more can be scored.
Yeah, this has suddenly got so nervy for Wolves. They've got to hold out for the next 10 seconds. Thankfully for them, they've got possession and they'll be able to score.
Anoto!
That'll do it. Anotorix Ronde, his new name. That's what he needs to change it to on Twitter. Anotorix Ronde. The pre-flip there to see it away.
Anoto.
Wolves Esports, mate. Their second win. I love this team. And they've just gone 1-on-1 on the day against Giants, one of the informed teams in EU.
I mean, yeah, they were the second best team on the day over in Europe. And at one point, obviously beat BDS earlier on. So were briefly the best. So, no, very, very impressive from Wolves. That is a gigantic result. They want to get another goal. Oli will also get it. That's right on the line. And a 5-2 is going to look brilliant on the score sheet as well. That is the final game wrapped up so far out of these rounds, and there are some really big results as well, Cole. Something a quick browse before we throw to the big group graphic, because that is currently being prepared. That final win, obviously for Wolves, is actually huge because that is going to put them over in second place. They're now at 1-1, but I'll tell you what, let's run through them and then let's focus on a group that we think is most spicy.
Okay, so Wolves are the team that just beat Vodafone Giants there, putting them 1-1, the same as Vodafone Giants. Galaxy Racer going 2-0 against Triple Trouble, so any poor form that they're in isn't keeping them back too much in this week's grid, it would seem. Galaxy Racer in Group B, Top Blokes, another team not in too good form, just going 2-0 with their win over Dignitas, and Oxygen defeating Team Liquid.
And in the Group C, you've got Endpoint and Singularity chilling at the top. Endpoint just about taking down Guild, and Singularity sweeping Fade away. And then in D, the spiciest group that we came into this entire day looking at, Redemption and Vitality sit on top because Vitality 3-0'd BDS. That is a huge result for them, BDS being the current best team in Europe and probably the world, so awesome Vitality. And Rix, unfortunately, but predictably, sitting at the bottom after being beaten by Redemption.
And Fairy Peak's own goal was one of actually 2 goals that BDS scored in the entire series against Team Vitality there. It was 4-0 Vitality game 1, and then 2-1, and then 2-1 as well. So it ended up being pretty tight in the end after Vitality steamed past them at the beginning. But yeah, a 3-0 for Vitality against BDS, that is a figure that you haven't seen too often so far in this split. And it's good to see Redemption back in form with that win over Rix GG, a commanding win against a team that they should be beating commandingly, but obviously that's not always how it happens in any given series, so good work from them as well.
I mean, it ended up being 11 goals to 1 for Redemption versus Rix, the near perfect sweep. Nightmare territory. I'm looking at Dignitas going 0-2, and that is disappointing for them, considering how well they were doing. They were 3-1 by Oxygen and also 3-1 by Top Blokes, only winning a single game. Their final match is going to be the battle to stay away from the bottom versus Team Liquid, so Group B is looking mighty spicy. But cool, that is going to be it for the second hour of Grid Overtime, but there's more to come, isn't there?
There is so much more to come, and I was going to say, before we threw to the break as well, at Rocket League have made a tweet saying Rocket Labs LTM is back with a new arena. Basin. Rocket Labs will be live all weekend until Monday. So if you go to Twitter and go to the official Rocket League account, you will see a beautiful, humongous, look at the size of that stump. You could fit 4 Batmobiles in that, and they'd barely get in each other's way. It's massive.
And the goal's like slanted.
Yeah, that is awesome looking. There are going to be so many spicy aerial plays. The ball will be pinging and panging off that backboard, setting up freestylers. What are you gasping about? What you see now?
There's a boost above the goal on the wall as well, on like the rampy bit. That is so cool. I love that a lot. Okay, everybody, make sure you go and look at that on @Rocket League, because that looks awesome. Otherwise, after the break, we will be back with more Grid Overtime, and I'm going to continue fawning at this map. This looks awesome.
We're spilling their way, and the ones that we're not taking ourselves, we've ended up with this really close, tense game too.
Certainly have, and Virtuoso will just end it right now. 37 seconds in overtime, and completely out of nowhere. That is why we've signed this man for another 18 months, when he pulls a shot like that and puts us back on a level playing field with Guild. 1-1 in this series. Virtuoso's in the middle, but a little bit too far forward. Can't advance on this one. Can he turn up the wall and maybe make the final play at 0 seconds? It's going to be up to Virtuoso. And Metson Norris goes to the goal line. Nolly saves. Wave again, follows up. Still high. Vert scores! He scores! And ties it up! We're going to overtime.
No way! How long did that ball stay up for him?
Confidence, and might hurt Giants a little bit. Of course, Giants with a huge advantage already being on match point. Wolves have got to do this 2 times over, but only will make it 4. Great control on the air dribble.
I don't know either, but to be fair, Fadeaway might be playing better now than ever since they have nothing to play for anymore. I mean,
it does not look like it, because Breezy is the best player in the world apparently.
you know, I'm not even truly a great caster.
Okay, somebody clip this. Can we get a clip? Can we get a clip?
Oh my goodness, what a save! But sliding it right on in, are you kidding me, Rodoko?
Oh my God! Unbelievable! The defense crumbles! The tank is empty, and we are going to overtime!
All our trouble seems to fade away. was all alone. Then you showed up under my umbrella. Oh, shelter from the cold. Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? Where do we go from
Hello everybody, welcome back to the Grid Overtime. It is Europe Day. We have had 2 hours of this 4-hour show gone and they are done and dusted. And we are here to finish off Groups A and B and to continue Groups C and D. I am Stumpy, he is Cole, and we have got a lot of Rocket League coming up.
I got excited earlier on because you said Shogun, and I thought you were talking about our round-headed friend, but you actually said Shogun. So yeah, it's just you and me. You're stuck with Cole and Stumpy, everybody. And yes, we are halfway through it now. And this is what we've got coming up. We've got Galaxy Racer versus Vodafone Giants. So one team is 2-0 there in Galaxy Racer, and Giants Gaming, they just lost, incredibly, versus Wes, aka Wolves Esports, who now are against Triple Trouble, both of whom, actually that's not true, Triple Trouble are 0-2, so Triple Trouble, despite coming in some decent form, have started losing again, which is sad for them. Also in Group B, you've got Top Blokes versus Oxygen. Both of those teams are on 2-0. Dignitas just being beaten by Top Blokes, so a really good result for them. And Dignitas versus Team Liquid are both 0-2. So a nice amount of symmetry there in Group B.
And then to continue in Group C and D, Singularity versus Endpoint, then Guild versus Fadeaway. In Group C, Singularity and Endpoint are currently sitting 1-0, so that's going to be battle for the top. And then Guild versus Fadeaway is the battle for the bottom, but of course, they've still got that third round to look forward to, where Singularity will face Guild, Endpoint will face Fadeaway regardless. Then in Group D, the absolute group of death for Rick's GG is Redemption versus Team Vitality, both those guys on 1-0, and then BDS have beaten Rick's GG.
That was a massive win for Redemption versus Rick's GG as well. So they'll be coming up into that series versus Vitality with absolute confidence over there in Group D. And when Redemption get going, they really are practically unstoppable sometimes.
But Vitality just 3-0'd BDS, bear in mind. So they're both coming off 3-0s. And I would say the Vitality's win versus BDS is a bigger win for the name. And even the scoreline is actually not that different. You know? Like, it was... BDS only got one actual goal, seeing as Fairy Peak scored an own goal to prove you wrong.
Yeah, I think that Fairy Peak knew that I was talking about him, and he wanted me to have another calamitous Caster's Curse moment. So thank you so much, Fairy Peak. I really do appreciate that. And we are getting into these games. Rick's GG take the lead against Team BDS. Now, lads, defend for 90 minutes. You got this.
The games are only 5.
You'll have to defend for 90 still against BDS. BDS will still find a way 85 minutes later.
So Vitality are also 2-0 up against Redemption. This is, of course, a big old hub-based show. If nobody has seen Grid Overtime before, there is a lot of games going on for the Grid. We are now in another hour where there are more games going on, or the most amount of games going on that there possibly can be. Great save, and somehow Vitality keep that out. So yeah, there are a lot of streams going on right now. You can see in the bottom left of each of these streams that we're going to be having up, 8 streams maximum at a time, where you can watch any individual stream that you would like to. If you only want to watch Team BDS, because we will be flipping between several games that are going on, you can look at twitch.tv/TeamBDS, or if you want to watch Redemption, go to twitch.tv/CashRL. Just keep an eye out for the bottom left corner, and you can look at the URLs to see if you want to have an in-depth look at any team in particular.
I say it every single week, and I just think it so strongly that this is one of the greatest formats in esports for a more minor tournament, the Grid. I just adore it, and I love the fact that it lets each org celebrate what makes them special and what makes them unique by putting on their own overlay, introducing their own casters for the sake of Vitality and Giants and Team BDS, casting their own language, because I wonder how rare it is for a Spanish viewer to be able to witness a broadcast in their mother tongue, as it were. It's just it's a beautiful, brilliant thing. And Vitality still looking pretty darn good, I've got to say. This early game, the early game signs against Redemption are that they are appearing very confident. I'm not sure that one should have gone in, but one way or another, 4-0 for Vitality.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what is going on. There was just a simple flick over the top. Then was it Cash at the back just started to move in because he thought that the challenge was pretty much guaranteed? I don't know. But 4-0 for Vitality is a huge first game.
They were also pretty clean against Team BDS as well. We've been saying for a long time that Vitality seems to be embracing a more haphazard style of play where every game, even if they did win, they'd win it 7-4 because they just don't care about defending at all. But the fact that their victory against Team BDS was so tight is probably jumping out to me more than the fact they 3-0'd them. If they 3-0'd them, but it was 5-2, 6-3, 4-0 or whatever, I'd be like, yeah, fair enough. But a couple of 2-1s in a row suggests that Vitality are beating BDS in the tight game as well. And that is a fantastic sign for Renault Vitality.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those games, one of those series that you can look at and see how it differs from the previous series that we have seen between those teams as well. Not sure what their record is between each other. I imagine BDS have got quite a large win rate versus Vitality, seeing as they just kept knocking them out in fall, especially. In winter, I don't actually know how much they've come up against each other. I'm just going to quickly check that out.
Okay, meanwhile, we can talk through the rest of these games. So Giants Gaming are 1-0 up against Galaxy Racer. They will be hugely keen to avenge their Game 5 loss against Wolves. I think that for a team as competitive and in as good form as Giants Gaming, a loss like that will frustrate them greatly. So Galaxy Racer will have to concentrate throughout this series to make sure that they're not the team that Giants Gaming take their frustrations out of. And endpoint CEX against Team Singularity, still in the early days, but 1-0 there to Team Singularity. It's, of course, Scrubkiller's Team Singularity. Scrubkiller, who once said that Virtuoso was the most replaceable player in the RLCS. That was a long time ago now, and Virtuoso has evolved a lot since then. But I always like bringing up that quote when Endpoint face any Scrubkiller roster.
Well, I mean, Scrub said that when, what was it, like 3 or 4 teams ago? So Scrub kind of proving it wrong in maybe the worst way possible. I'm just looking at some of the results, by the way, between Vitality BDS. The last 4 series have gone the way of BDS. And out of their most recent 10, 3 of them have been won by Vitality. So not a great result for Vitality versus BDS. So the fact that they got that win and so comfortably was absolutely massive.
Yeah, good sign. BDS, however, are now 3-1 down versus Rix GG.
What is happening?
You said that this might be Rix GG's day, that they'd weirdly go 3-0 in a group with Vitality, BDS, and Redemption. That's not possible after they lost to Redemption, but if anything, that's even more weird. If they lose to Redemption, then they beat BDS. That to me is stranger. Like, it's not a pop-off day. They've just beaten BDS straight up. That's stranger somehow.
If Rix beat anyone in this group today, then that's insane to me, quite frankly. That is just nuts. And they're going to get this first game versus BDS. And people, if anybody's thinking
Ooh, they might not.
Okay, you know what? This is actually quite harsh from somebody to say that, you know, Rix, they can't possibly beat BDS. I implore you to look at results that both of those teams have had. Rix GG was celebrating getting a win in the grid 2 weeks ago.
Actually, Rix GG have beaten BDS twice since the full split.
What?
I just made that up. They probably haven't. Rix GG win that first game, though, against Team BDS right there. If Rix get a series win, will you change your Twitter name to Stumpy Goblin at Magnus's #1 fan, smiley face?
No.
Oh. Okay.
Don't you want to? Rix GG have never beaten BDS.
Really?
Stormtroopers have, the team that they used to be. but that was before Magnus was on there, and apparently Jack was on there instead.
Yeah. Yeah,
so it was Polar, Dead Monster, and apparently Jack before he was big Dignitas mode. So yeah, this team has they've only faced him like 4 times in total. So there's not too much to work off, but Rich G have actually never won a game against them.
Really?
So this is the first game that Ricks have ever taken off BDS.
Well, that's worth some hype, isn't it? That's amazing.
That's good.
Hey,
That is good. That's really
well done,
good.
Rick. Applause all around. Clap, clap, clap. Love that. Good stuff.
And they get 1. You ready?
Oh. That was the singular clap.
Yeah. They get a clap.
Will they get 2 claps if they win this next game?
Next game they get 2, yeah.
And then if they win the one after that, you change your Twitter name to Stumpy Goblin at Magnus's #1 fan. Cool.
No,
that's locked in. And Giants
No,
Gaming have a chance to flip reset their way to victory against Galaxy Racer, but it was saved at the near
Overtime,
post.
though. Overtime. Maybe an overtime.
Let's
It's like
say
5
maybe
seconds.
after saying overtime twice.
Whenever anybody is RLCSOT if this hits the floor, spam it! RLCSOT! Do it! Fill the chat!
Giants, pero bueno, esto se va a resolver con el gol de oro y de momento Mitaen ha sido el quien ha ganado el kickoff. El balón que queda muerto se eleva un poquito, cuidado, ese balón podría tener mucho peligro. Este que la tiene gratuita y gratuita la mete el equipo de Vodafone Giants, que se va a llevar este primer partido de la serie.
Vaya buen golazo por parte de Steak, que anota, pues eso, el 2-3 en el overtime, le salva del primer partido, respira hondo el equipo de Vodafone Giants, porque también tengo que decir, qué rabia no haber visto.
So a very speedy overtime victory there for Vodafone Giants against Galaxy Racer. And to put themselves 1-0 up in the series. Meanwhile, Dignitas look to be returning to winning ways with 3-1 up against Team Liquid. However, hang about, everybody forgets that Ronicky is one of the greatest strikers in this very region. And this is why. Lovely pass from Speed. And then there he was, tapping that one home.
Hey, Cole.
And yeah. What's up, man?
Can you sound the there's been an RL Esports blog post alarm?
There's been an RL Esports blog post. It's the blog post we love the most.
So, we have got information for you all about the RLCS X Major for winter. This is all exclusive. It's happening. Right, cool. Would you like to know how it will work?
Please tell me, oh wise one.
So, for anybody wondering, the RL Esports is not just the grid. You've also got the main RLCSX, where teams compete in Europe, in North America, in South America, in Oceania for their big old chunk of cash. And we now know what is happening with the Winter Major. So, Cole, the way this has been described is that this is the quick breakdown that they have provided. So, the top 12 teams in each region are going to qualify for their respective region's winter split major. So, Cole, that then therefore means that in Europe, right now, because Europe has now concluded, which is fantastic, that then means that the top 12 teams, oh my gosh, okay, points are all together. That has confused me. I don't like it. There are joint places. I'm not a fan of that. There are like 4 teams in 9th. I do not know how that works.
They're all top 12.
They're all top 12 because in the next is 13th. Is that right?
Yep.
Cool. Okay, so the 12 teams that are going to be going through are Team BDS, Giants Gaming, Top Blokes, Team Queso, Team Vitality, Dignitas, Oxygen, Galaxy Racer, Denied, Endpoint, Guild, and Redemption. All of those teams are through to the top 12. They will be in the major. Each regional major is going to be running for 2 days, so a big old weekend of Rocket League. The format is a 12-team double elimination bracket, so very similar to what we saw through the winter regionals anyway, but basically just cut in half. So instead of 24 teams, you're down to 12. And the points earnings, this is the biggest thing, are doubled. So for every major that we see, the points are doubled. It is so vital that you do well in a major for you to get through to the World Championships at the end. So, to break it down again, top 12 teams go through from every region. It's going to last for 2 days. The format is a 12-team double elimination bracket, and points are doubled. The dates as well, Cole. In Oceania, they will be playing it through on February the 5th and the 6th. The following weekend will be South America. They're going to be on the 13th and the 14th of February. Europe then has their turn on February the 20th and the 21st. And North America will be taking place on the 27th and the 28th of February. If anybody wants to read those details for themselves, make sure that you go to esports.rocketleague.com and check out the most recent blog posts.
Wow. Awesome. Who is excited for the upcoming major? I, for one, cannot wait. More Rocket League to come. Thank you, Stumpy, for revealing that so eloquently. That is a world reveal from you, Stumpy, on twitch.tv/Rocket League. How awesome is that?
I love that. I'm so excited for that major. If anybody hasn't watched any of the RLCS and you only watch the grid overtime because you love Cole, then that's fair enough. But I beg you, watch the RLCS. It is incredible. It is the best esports event, hands down, and you deserve to have it in your eyeballs.
Yes, absolutely. So things to look forward to. Make sure you put those dates in your calendars, everybody. And while we've been going on, a few results have been coming in. We'll go through those in a bit. But why don't, I don't know if it's possible to have a listen in here, but we can at least concentrate fully on Top Blokes versus Opportunities. And we can listen in. Let's listen in.
See, Astral was setting up for his own pass there. Lovely back pass to Cassio here, who decides to go up rather than straight at net, not looking to test the keepers. Josep trying to use that Fennec to its advantage, but he's not going to get through, not this time anyway. Oh, that's a mistouch from Cassio on the backboard, but Ferrer decides to go the wrong way as well. Cassio with no boost in his wagon here, carrying it down the other side. At least gets a pass inward, but it's not going to reach the goal mouth. Chaussette, not much boost on that Fennec either, to be honest, and everyone's starting to sputter a little bit, but it falls to Flame kindly, and he blazes high. Unfortunate, a little bit lower, and that would have been game number 1 to Top Blokes. Archie infield again. Is there anyone to receive? Well, there is, but unfortunately it's Chaussette. Astral to the backboard, looks to readjust. Oh, that's dangerous, and it's a huge save from Flame. He might have missed down one end, but he needed to get that save down the other, and what a save it was.
And a follow-up by Archie, also tremendous. He did not bite for Chaussette as he was trying to bring the ball in with a second touch. Archie did not jump, anticipating something not close to the wall, and that has saved us as well. Great read on that play. Great communication as well as Archie falls out in favor of Flame. Gets the boost as well. Well, not for nothing, I suppose. Ferrer can still hunt him potentially. But Chaussette bumps into spawning Archie, and that attack is dead as well. But the boost economy is in shambles. I'm watching our players, and they have pretty much nothing to work with, thankfully. So do Oxt.
That's a good boost steal on that side as well. If it'll pass to Archie! What a save from Ferrer! What a read! The defenses are actually cracked today. There seems to be no way through as we approach and pass 4 minutes of overtime in game number 1. Keep in mind, this on the back of a complete freak goal for Oxygen. So Top Blokes, honestly, this is a situation that, okay, it's unfortunate, but man, they're wishing now that they could have at least done a little bit better to maybe avoid this scenario. Again, falls kind of to Cassio, another demo, this time Chaussette on Flame, looking for bumps, not going to happen. It's Astral, it's 1v1. Archie just happy to punch it into the corner as hard as he can. Ferrer to put it back up high, but with 2 people back in defense, there is going to be no way through. Astral, backboard, Flame deals with it. Chaussette, it's gone over the top of him, and Ferrer on the backboard going to have to try and send this back to center, but it's not gone that far. Chaussette forced to put it back, and here's Flame now, demoed for his troubles. It's up to Astral. It's a challenge for Cassio that he wins, at least puts it back into the corner. It's a shot! Oh, and it's off the bar! I don't know how much Archie got on that, if anything, but it's now 5 minutes. Another bump! Oh, and another huge save from Archie! Oxygen!
Yes!
Oh my God! Can you believe the scenes that we have just witnessed? Unbelievable attempt after absolutely extravagant attempt, and Archie punishes them with a cherry pick from downtown. 1-0 Top Blokes, but probably 5 minutes later than they ever would have wanted.
How on earth?
So an exhausting win there for Top Blokes. You also saw in the bottom right, Renner Vitality winning a long old overtime versus Redemption as well. A couple of overtimes going on at the same time. Triple Trouble are 1-0 up against Wolves Esports. Wolves who just got that victory against Giants Gaming, so will be loving life right now. And then Guild are actually losing to Fade Away overall, but they have just gone up in the second game over there.
Gosh. So, lots and lots of results coming in. Giants Gaming are now 2-0 up versus Galaxy Racer. Liquid have got one game versus Dignitas, and they're 4-0 up in the second with 3 minutes remaining. Okay, Dig. It's good to be a Dignitas fan again. Endpoint versus Singularity, they are currently sitting at 1-1 as well, and BDS have tied things up alongside Rick's GG. And I've seen a lot of people, Cole, in the chat being very excited for the major, because that is such good news. And there are a couple of situations right now that we're trying to, not trying to figure out, but sort of just looking through to see who can still make it. And Singularity, they still have a chance to qualify.
Yeah, they are the big question mark here. So you said the 12 teams that have probably qualified for the major, and that's likely to be the case. However, any of the teams that finish in the top 6 overall points in the grid will make the major as well. Now, if you look at the teams that are going to finish in the top 6 and are also going to finish in the top 12 in RLCS, that's most of them. But the one that jumps out is Singularity. They can still qualify for the major if they perform well enough in the next couple of days in the grid to finish top 6 overall. So that is the final question mark over everything.
Just to clarify that, whoever is top 6 in the grid, they get a spot if they're not already qualified. So because Singularity aren't a team that are currently in, and it's only one team as well, if there's a team that isn't currently in the top 12 of the RLCS X point rankings, then and they do get top 6 in the grid, then one team will make it. So whoever is highest placed essentially out of that. And Singularity are the only team that are outside of the top 12 right now in RLCS X and still could make it through into the major based on that grid qualification spot.
So if they lose this one, then Endpoint will gain 10 points on them, and Endpoint are 11 points behind Team Singularity. So it is incredibly tight whether Team Singularity will finish in the top 6 and give our admins that headache. That's going to be a definite
Every
fun
placement
one.
matters.
Yeah,
it's
to keep an eye
so
on.
close.
Yeah, so the game to watch then is bottom left, Endpoint versus SNG. Team Singularity actually took the lead while we were talking. I presume that news has filtered through to Team Singularity Towers, so they'll be well aware that the importance of every single goal they get right here, right now, has just been quadrupled at the very least. The pressure has just ratcheted up, more so tomorrow when wins result in even more points. But yeah, it's a big couple of days in RL Esports right now based on that announcement from Psyonix. A huge, huge announcement.
Yes, I'm so excited to see who ends up making it through, because majors are always so much fun. And we've got an entire month of Rocket League as well, where people can watch all the different regions. You can see what's going on with the Oceania, with South America as well. Just a quick one. Liquid are 8-0 up versus
8-0 up.
Yeah,
versus
8-0 up with a minute left, yeah.
Oh, so this is the chance to even up their goal difference between the final game against Endpoint and this game right here. Will they score more than 8 and more than even it up?
8-0. 8-1?
No. That's my question. So they need to have a goal difference of at least 9 to overall have a positive goal difference between game 3 against Endpoint and this one right here. I'm backing them to do it. I'm gonna go for 10-1.
You think 10-1?
I think 3 more goals in the next 44 seconds. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm excited. Let's give it a look. 40 seconds left. It was a good pass. Ronicky has clearly got his shooting boots on too. He's having a good time.
He's probably scored all late.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm sure it just said 7 next to his name.
Did
Let's
it?
get my glasses on. Maybe that's wishful
My
thinking.
glasses are in my car. I can't even go and get them. I can get them. I know where to use my car. I'm not locked out. Oh, that was nearly it. So the highest number of goals that a single player has scored in a pro game is, I believe, Fairy Peak with 8. I think
that was like the day after Ronicky got 7, right?
I think it was, yeah.
Yeah, that was so funny. 3 seconds left. Oh, this has to be the goal. Only 8-0. And an instant lead from Joris as well.
How
So
many
presumably
goals?
he's changing his car.
Striker.
Dignitas not really feeling on it right now, it's fair to say. Singularity are still beating Endpoint CEX in the bottom left. And BDS,
Speed
they're
4.
2-1 up in games now.
Speed had 4 goals, is what it was.
So it wasn't a 7, it was a 1.
Yeah.
Oh, it was a 2,
No,
actually.
Ronick had 2. What
2,
did you
it's
see?
2. I saw the arc of the 2 looking a bit like a 7.
Oh, okay.
And then, because Team Liquid had scored 8, I softly presumed that 7 of them went to Ronicky as well. That's a fair assumption.
That's very fair. Singularity are 2-0 up with under a minute left in their third game versus Endpoint. Bottom left, BDS are predictably now beating Ricks, but it has certainly been a little bit of a squeaker. Galaxy Racer are currently losing to Giants, but they've got a little bit of time in front of the goal mouth to try and just get another goal back. Otherwise, they are going to be swept.
We'll see. Hopefully, there'll be a bit of fight from Galaxy Racer up against Giants. Giants Gaming, I did say they would be angry after their loss to big old Wes, and that's the way they're playing as well. They're keeping hold of this victory with Galaxy Racer having a chance. Whenever Mitane is up in the air, it's just scary for his opponents, but Giants seem to have dealt with that one now. Last few seconds. If there is a goal here, everybody spam your RLCS OTs immediately. I don't think it's going to happen, and it hasn't.
Cheeky sweep for the Giants over Galaxy Racer. Galaxy Racer had a little bit of fall from form, I think, in the RLCS, but that is their first loss here today, and that will conclude Group A pretty much. I think that's actually Group A fully concluded now, which is fun. Oh, no. Trouble are still playing versus Wes, Big Wes. That's cool. That's going on still. Yeah, no group's actually completed yet. All these teams still fighting it out.
What a save that was from Dignitas in the top right. I thought they were about to lose their slender lead, but not to be. I think it was Dignitas saving it. It might have been Dignitas almost scoring. Either way, I'm just keeping an eye on Achieves. That's what I'm getting distracted by, because this is our last chance for Mugwatch. Yeah, Watch is popping off. There's all sorts of watch action right there, but that's not what we're here to see, Achieves.
Come on, Achieves. Mugwatch. Give us a mug. Show us your mug power.
Man. I don't think he's going to. Talacto's wearing sunglasses. That is
his
thing. Yeah, that's his thing, isn't it? He loves it.
Mug Achieves.
It's not happening.
And I'm wondering, Achieves has a really cool mug, and he was having a little sip from it earlier in his little cardie, and I was excited to see how cool it was. Give us your mug, Achieves. Come on.
Tylacto's like, what's that? You want a big old water bottle? No, Tylacto. No, when we're giving you attention and when we're giving Achieves attention. Right now, we're giving Achieves attention. Watch, again, is loving life. There's more Achieves watch action, but not Mugwatch.
Not Mugwatch. Tylacto drinks from a bottle that you see that guy drinking from in the gym as well.
Yeah, he thinks he's big.
Yeah, and you're like, all right. And even if they are big, I think you're small inside.
If Singularity can win this, it would be absolutely massive for their major chances. It's because of the team that they're beating as well.
So
this is a very big game 4.
Singularity have already earned themselves 10 points from today, so that's fine. So that does them well, at least. If they get another win, though, that will then bring them to 20 points just from today. Bear in mind, every team goes through regardless, but every win is going to be huge. So yeah, Singularity need to do the best they can. Like you said, taking down Endpoint. It doesn't, because there's a whole lot of tiebreakers going on behind the scenes, but Endpoint are in that, like, the 9th spot, essentially. 9th through 12th, there are 4 teams there, and there are 12 teams in our major. So there's a lot of adminning going on behind the scenes. Any updates we get as well, we are going to inform you of too, so don't worry. You don't need to get your calculator out yourselves. We will keep you fully updated.
There was such a good chance that Scrubkiller just made for his teammate. Oh my goodness.
Hibbs.
What a air dribble that is from Hibbs. It's actually stolen boost on the way as well. And look at this. The manipulation on the ball right there. Just to stroke it through like that is sublime from Hibbs.
And that does also put Singularity in the lead. May well get them 20 points to keep them. It's also, bear in mind, keeping them in the top 6. That they need in the grid. Like, they're currently 5th. Like, they're doing everything they possibly can just to continue that lead. They're really high up, in fairness. Like, they've got 171 points. The only issue is they got 151 of them from week 2 where they won it. The other 2 are just from their single win. So already they've got as many points as they did in the other weeks where they didn't win. Which, you need to get as many as you possibly can. Pull away Singularity, earn that big spot for the major, because that's huge then going forward to Worlds as well.
Yeah, goodness me. I think that they could end up going to the major off the back of that week 2 grid win.
I know.
Essentially showing how important it is. So they can just show a little bit of consistency in the next couple of days. But they're doing well enough so far. Ricks GG have brought a goal back against Team BDS in the bottom right. So come on, Ricks, give us a game 5. Get your what was it? Your second ever game against Team BDS, you were saying? They've only got none until today?
So, going into this, their record versus BDS is 0-9. Sorry, 0-6 rather. But now they've got at least one win. So good for them. They're now currently at 1-8.
Better. An improvement. That's progress, my friend.
Better, yeah.
Infinitely better. From 0 to 1. The best improvement you can get. And Dignitas are improving against Team Liquid as well. They're actually scoring some goals against them now. No longer playing like an 0-8 team.
Oh my word! That defense from Rix was silly. It was an amazing shot top corner, and as it comes back in, a player from inside the net covers the rebound. That was amazing. They're just about holding on to the 1-goal deficit.
Oh, I thought that double tap would be good for them as well, but somehow one of the BDS players got a read on it, and Dignitas have doubled their lead. If Dignitas win this game, I was going to say, surely that's what everybody is thinking with Team Liquid. They're 2-0 up. Oh, they've conceded a game. GG's, maybe. It's the faith that we have in Team Liquid to see away a series is that low at this point. It's painful that that's the point that it's got to, but unfortunately, that is the point that it's got to.
Yeah. Due to repeated cursing of the team, Boyo Royo has been muted for the rest of the game. So I guess Boyo was saying that Liquid were doing well, and then they ended up just conceding over and over again.
Yeah, things like, oh, Speed's got to score here. There's no way Dignitas can score from this attack, etc. I respect that.
Curse.
I was going to say, I've had a few in recent times, haven't I? I mean, at this point, they're going to have to mute Danny as well, because just muting Boyo is clearly not working.
Look at that pass, though. Oh.
That would be very Liquid stream as well, to mute both Danny and Boyo and say, do you know what? We're just going to watch in silence because our casters keep ruining things.
Finally listening to the crowd.
Yeah, those eggs. What are they chanting? Who knows?
Nobody has any idea, and that's the beauty of the eggs. Oh, Jorius! Oh my good golly gosh on a gondola. That is absolutely godlike.
Oh,
look at that top right.
Oh, so good.
Wow.
Jorius.
Wow.
Second best player in EU, ain't that right, Stumpy?
Mechanically. And Johnny said I was wrong with that, and I feel like that's so harsh. I think it's a good shout that Jorius is number 2.
Yeah, so the question on the main broadcast was overall no. It was mechanically today earlier on.
Oh,
we were talking about Astral and the lads. But the question was, who is the second best overall? And your shout was Jorius. I said Alpha, I think. But I knew it was tenuous when I said it with Vitality's results.
I still think Jorius is a really good shout there. Johnny immediately saying no is silly buttons.
Yeah, you stand by that more than I stand by Alpha. I'd actually say that Terry Peak is probably in better form than Alpha right now as well. But it's like, you know he's got it in him. Do you know what I mean? Any second, he might suddenly be that player again.
That's the conversation with the top 5 as well. Like, that's the hard thing. Like, it's so hard to say any individual player is the best mechanically. Because they can all basically do the same thing. It's just really depends on the day. It's near impossible.
And I defy anybody to say, oh yeah, Astral hasn't played too well in recent weeks. I don't think he's mechanically one of the best. Because if you say anything like that on a broadcast, you just know that he is going to punish you and make you look extraordinarily stupid.
Does that
over and over again?
Does that work with everything? If we say it, does it then come true like the other way, like caster cursing it? Like if we reverse psychology the world, does that happen?
Global warming's definitely never going to be stopped.
Nice. I thought you were going to go a very yesterday political route with it, but no. I think that I'm going to... Oh no, I forgot which way around this is.
You say it and it doesn't happen.
I'm never going to get my caster title from Scheist. There you go.
Oh, wait, did I do it backwards? Did I just curse us all?
Wait, or did I do it backwards? I'd rather have my title than global warming to stop.
No, stop it. So listen, we said, if we say it will happen, then it won't. Okay, I've got it backwards. Global warming.
No, you've already done a global warming one.
What? No, I'm changing
that's
it.
Locked in. No, that's locked in now.
Global
Nature's
warming.
grabbed it. They've run with it. Mother Nature, she is spiteful. She's like a genie in a bottle. The monkey's paw has curled, and it's happening.
There's no chance we stop global warming, please.
No, sorry, mate.
Oh, man.
Do I get my title?
No.
What?
Just no. Just no.
Oh.
I mean, you're not even the predicted godlin at the moment. I'm the predicted godlin because, and I haven't bragged about this enough, I predicted the entire bracket at the weekend.
But not the
including
right
the bracket
teams,
reset.
Is that right? Or
No, I did it. I straight up did it.
Oh, no, sorry, I meant to say the right scores. Obviously, because that's insane.
Oh, yeah,
But
yeah,
you got
that
the
would
right
be
teams.
next level. Yeah.
That's huge.
Including
That's really
the BDS getting the bracket reset and winning. Although that wasn't written down, but I believe I said it. I thought it, and I believe I said it.
I'm pretty sure you
as well.
said it, yeah.
Yeah, I need to tweet that out and be like, look at me, everybody. I did it.
I
Smart.
also got messaged by the producer saying that I was still on and I was the only one with a surviving bracket. The issue was, it was the opposite, and mine was the only bracket that was predicted that was wrong.
Yeah.
So that hurt.
Yeah, he at you, and then you at Johnny and me.
With a smiley face or something, like, look at that.
Yeah, and then he was like, oh, actually, I've got it backwards. You're the only one who's out.
I actually outed myself, because I predicted endpoint would win. Then I went, wait, no, endpoint lost. And he was like, oh, yeah.
I mean, in hindsight,
good point.
Oxygen always beat endpoint, so silly prediction.
Silly. Going on right now, though, is Dignitas did manage to get that first game that they need to start the reverse sweep versus Liquid, and that must be on the Liquid minds. What a save from Jorius to keep it even as well. Shorset gets a goal versus Top Blokes. Top Blokes currently lead 2-1. And Singularity have beaten endpoint. So that is great from Singularity. They get themselves 20 points from today, and they will obviously be playing tomorrow, and if they get a win or two, they are looking brilliant going forwards.
But oh my goodness, Guilds have just lost versus a team that doesn't see itself as good enough. They're like, yeah, let's pack it in. Let's all go our separate ways. Guilds are like, yeah, we'll lose to that. we'll give that a loss.
Guild have literally lost to a team that's given up.
Yes, precisely. A team that had just been utterly obliterated, and rightly so, earlier on by Singularity.
Oh, Shogun.
To be fair, actually, it's not as bad as I thought. Their series against Singularity was 3-2, 2-1, 2-1 with 2 overtimes. So I actually thought it was less close than that. Yeah. But even so, let's all have a nice laugh at Guild's expense.
Oh, top right, left screen. Look at Panda fake out the pass here.
Why did you say top right, left screen? Why not just say it was on the left?
Just watch. Oh, so there was a man in the middle that Panda was going to pass to. Saw that the pass was covered, so flipped it back round and then flicked it top corner. I was just excited for my 2-time world champion best mate.
That's really good. Now everybody look in the middle of the right of the left screen's mirror, and you will see a pass coming from Astral and his teammate.
You're really clever. Do you know that, mate?
Thank you, friend.
I hope you never get your title.
Oh,
yeah, that's
right.
mean.
But are you spiteful enough to not want your own? So I don't get one too?
I think so. I really genuinely think so. Even though you care very little about it. So I'm only spiting me to maybe spite 1% of you. That's good enough.
Cool. Dignitas 2-0, by the way, and their inevitable reverse sweep versus Team Liquid. So that one all going to plan. Fruity has got a cheeky goal for Liquid to stir the pot a little bit. From Roniki, look at that bundle over the top of the Dignitas defense.
Oh, what a bump.
And Astral, I think I was only half watching, but I think Astral did something mechanical. Let's see. Oh no, it wasn't. It was just a straight up hit. That's disappointing. I presumed it was something mechanical. I saw Astral flying away from the ball and then Farah scoring what had become a fairly open goal, and I thought Astral's done something brilliant here. But that wasn't the case. It was just a hit onto the backboard, which Farah followed up. So Guilds, with their loss against Fadeaway, are now 0-2 because they also lost to endpoint. And we didn't really say enough about the equalizer that endpoint had at 0 seconds against Guild. We didn't see it occurring. But Guild were literally in the end game. In game 5. No, I think it was in game 4 actually. I think it was one that endpoint had to win just to force a game 5. And they... No. It was game 5. I don't know. At some point, Guild should have won, and then endpoint scored a 0-second goal. There was also a reverse sweep that we didn't draw enough attention to as well in the earlier rounds. We'll get back to those earlier rounds soon because there has been a goal for Oxygen Esports. Infield pass came in, and Liquid are looking to come back against Dignitas. They've got about 45 seconds to do it, but Was that a doink from Joris? Let's see. Off the ceiling goes Violent Panda. Oh, it wasn't a doink. He decided to dodge, but at least it was a cool goal. A nice little redirect there from the great man. And Top Blokes, what a goal that is from Cassio. It was actually Top Blokes that scored to get themselves back in it against Oxygen Esports. So suddenly, just like that, Top Blokes have come right back into it. I'm loving the camera work. Have Top Blokes hired Crasher, the RLCS observer? Because whoever is being the cameraman for this game on the Top Blokes broadcast is having a lot of fun zooming about the pitch, which I absolutely love. Bringing Crasher in to the RLCS is such a good decision that was made. The broadcasts look so much more professional, right down from top to bottom. You know, before kickoff, Stumpy, and the camera's swooping around now, and then it approaches the ball as the players fly in. It's such a cool additional factor. And yeah, Top Blokes, I've got a feeling that they've certainly got someone in as an observer, which is great.
I'm trying to think who, because other great observers and people in that kind of area include Aaron Gill Live. He is awesome as well at that job. There's a few people who just really take so much pride in it, and like it just having it be so seamless makes the broadcast in like certain ways as well. It's absolutely fantastic to see. But Cole, we are now approaching an overtime. Everybody, when this hits 0 seconds, make sure that you spam in the chat RLCSOT. Are you ready? Let's do it!
To let that hit the ground as we head into overtime for the second time today. Win this, and Top Blokes go 3-0. They top the group.
Oh, the familiar site of Neo Tokyo. This is where we won against Dignitas, if you remember. And this is where it all could end today. A 3-0 on the first day of the grid. Honestly, I'm not going to say anything just yet, but that last, minute? Maybe more? That was some of the best pressure I've seen. We need to get rid of the pressure right now, though. And with Farah committing hard to this, if you only can put it past the last player, Astral kills time and the counterattack has evaded us. This could have been yet another opportunity. We just need to return to the same pressure that we had at the end of regulation, because that was tremendous. Oxygen couldn't find a moment for themselves. They were looking like conceding any second now. Everyone's cautious. Nobody wants to take a risk. Nobody wants to be the silly Billy that cost them the game. Definitely don't want this to be our Top Blokes players.
Astral, he sees Chaussette going for the cherry pick that served Team Liquid so well. It's well enough defended. Flame going to put it to the enemy backboard now. There's Flame again in field, but nobody there to follow up immediately. You basically need a Shadow Striker at that point, and that is something that Astral does very well indeed. Cassio. And here's Archie again, lots of boost. Is Chaussette going to meet him? Yes, but Archie wins the challenge overall. Continues to go towards net. Archie looking for the thing. It's Cassio and it's wide! Bumped out the way. Here's Flame again. And Farah denies him. Backboard again. But by this time, Cassio and Archie had both gone back for boost. And it's just Cassio on his own to throw it upfield. Archie redirect. Archie redirect. It's going to go high anyway. Chaussette makes sure.
Archie immediately recognized what's happening. He switched from an aerial for a potential pass to him to a play on the ground, and I think it's only through the magic of pre-jumps from Farah and the rest of Oxygen that they managed to make a save on that play. Tremendous attack, tremendous defense, and tremendous pass as well. The ball is still up front. If we can find an angle to really keep it in the offense, this could be ours, but this only falls to Chaussette, and honestly, this gives us a chance, but almost felt like this was a clear that Oxygen themselves been looking for, and we sort of gave it to them.
Here's Chaussette again. Flame right up from the back. Third man came flying in, and Farah's really starting to nail down Archie here. There's been a couple of missed touches from Farah, but you can tell that the team's been saying, look, you know, if you can't get the touches that we need, go for those demos. Focus in on Archie. He's the one making the plays. It's a good strategy. The question is, will it work? That pinch off the backboard, a little bit too powerful. His teammates there, and Cassio there with a simple save away. Archie, the doink over, is not going to go over the head of Chaussette, and away into the midfield again. It's straight to Farah. Once again, in survival mode, the Top Blokes, before that big reprieve from Flame downfield. Return to sender. Archie gets a touch, but it's a terrible touch. It ends up on the backboard. That so easily could have gone into the goal. Again, Top Blokes get away with it, but they need this luck. They need to ride these moments and hope that the storm will subside soon enough. Cassio goes Central and Astral's already there. He gets over the top of Archie, but with no support, it means that it's going to go to Top Bloke's hands again. Flame this time going for a flip.
Flame?
Gets it, and Farah with another late save. Here's Archie now. Once again, both teams trying to slow down these attacking plays. Archie gets a second touch, and it's there! Cassio is there to get the winner. Look at the mechanical prowess from Archie. Not just to get the first, he commits to the second, and Cassio is there on hand to make sure that Top Blokes win 3-1 in the series. It means that Archie has basically not contributed to...
I loved the Observer Boogie, and I've actually found out who the Observer is. We were wondering who it was, and it's not Blonde Monkey. He is
okay, so who is it then?
Not Blonde Monkey, not Blonde Monkey.
You don't know, wait, so it could be anybody else, but it's just not him. So who
He's
is
the
it?
Top Blokes Observer, and he was the one who was responsible for the Observer wiggle, not Blonde Monkey.
Okay,
in
so who is it
commas,
then?
Not Blonde Monkey.
Right, so
Put it in
it's not...
speech marks, not Blonde Monkey.
Okay, so who is it? You're not...
Open speech marks, capital N-O-T. See where I'm going with this?
Okay, yeah.
Blonde.
Yeah.
Monkey.
Okay, so we know it's not Blonde Monkey.
No, not Blonde
so
Monkey.
So who is it?
Not Blonde Monkey is the Observer there.
Right, so who is it? Crasher? Is it Crasher then?
Yeah, it's Crasher.
Crasher, good stuff. All right, he is honestly amazing work from Crasher. Absolutely love that. And I like the fact they did a little dance as well right at the end. That was very cute.
The Observer wiggle. The Observer wiggle, it shall forever be known, is my dream. I want it to become a thing. Who can do the best Observer wiggle? That's the new competition going on. But the inevitable Dignitas reverse sweep versus Team Liquid is now just fading away. Well on its way with Team Liquid's trying to get back in this one, but Dignitas probably...
Tell you what.
It was so mean. We did this last time when they were against BDS, and I was saying any second now BDS are going to score. Yep, there it is. Now BDS with the overtime, and it's just... Oh, I don't want to do this, Stumpy.
I want to listen in to hear what Danny and Boyo have to say about this, because they must know as well that this is clearly going to be a reverse sweep. Let's hear what they're saying.
They all go for it. The net wide open. Ronicky, Fritty's been all rushing back, trying to make the save, and they can't do it. With 1 minute left, it's 2 goals in it.
Just unfortunate and just as cruel as the game. One double commit, one cruelty. And the battle for third place just got that little bit harder. Oh dear, under the minute now. Bit of liquid magic's required in Fruity. Bit of delayed. It's got past one, but should be sent right down by Jack here. Off the wall again. We've seen once before. Speed, just run with the ball. Run. Get a bump at least. Fruity, just tuck it in. Somebody has to score it. Big wide open net, left or right. And Liquid decide to shoot at the keeper.
To avoid the reverse sweep, they've got to win here. Speed going upfield, bumped off the ball. Clear away, time running out. 30 seconds left. Liquid have got to do something big, but Speed can't get the ball away. The ball falls to Fruity. Pass over to Ronicky. Back to Speed. Back to Fruity. Cleared and saved. Away it goes. Speed once more. Up high it will be sent. With that time ticking down. The game impossible for Liquid to win. Liquid get reverse rate by Dignitas and go 0-3 today.
It just seems to be a never-ending cycle. A cruel fate for a team to be possessed. And Boyle.
Oh my god! It was right at the end. They got sad.
They do look sad.
They look so sad.
They still look surprised as well. They're like, oh, I didn't see this coming. I thought we'd...
I can't believe it. That's an absolutely massive throw from Team Liquid, and nobody could have seen that coming. I'm just gobsmacked that anybody might have seen that Team Liquid could have possibly thrown that 2-0 commanding lead.
I'm really surprised by the reverse sweep against us.
Not even Friday could do that, but I am absolutely blown away. These are our groups right now, and you see at the bottom of Group B, there is Team Liquid!
Lose. So that is the third of 4 mini game days within this grid, and Groups A and B are completely finished. Vodafone Giants, 2 wins and 1 loss. Galaxy Racer, 2 wins and 1 loss. They mirror Triple Trouble and Wolves Esports. Wolves couldn't get their 3rd ever win in the grid, losing 3-0 to Triple Trouble, so a big result from them. And then in Group B, Top Blokes top, Oxygen 2nd, Dignitas 3rd, and Team Liquid, who got reverse swept down there in 4th. That's Groups A and B.
That hurts. Group C sees Singularity at the top right now, fighting and clawing their way to get as many points as possible to better their chances of getting into the RLCSX Major for Winter in Europe. Just below them is Endpoint and Fadeaway, both 1 game apiece, and Guild 0-2, who literally lost to a team that have given up and broken up. Group D sees Vitality chilling on top. Redemption and BDS are both 1-1, and Rick's GG, unfortunately but predictably, sitting at the bottom of that group, 0-2. So that means, Cole, that Groups A and B have concluded, but C and D will be continuing.
Yeah, Team Singularity, who, don't forget, need to do as well as they possibly can for major reasons. They're coming up against Guild Esports, who, as Stumpy mentioned, just lost to a team that have literally given up and broken up. So Singularity will be thinking, hello, rubbing their hands together, thinking potentially 10 easy more points here. And then Endpoint versus Fadeaway. Endpoint trying to finish 2nd in their group rather than 3rd. Whoever wins that one will finish 2nd in their group. In Group D, Vitality are up against Rix.gg to potentially make Rick's GG go 0-3, which nobody saw coming. And Redemption versus Team BDS. And Redemption, I think, despite losing to Vitality, they'll be fancying this against Team BDS, based on the fact that BDS dropped a game to Rick's GG. Redemption 3-0'd Rick's GG. That's enough to maybe predict them to win, perhaps?
Maybe. But Cole, we are 3 hours into this 4-hour-long show, and we have got those games that you mentioned coming up next. Everybody, make sure that you stick around, because this is not it for overtime. 1 more hour, 4 more series are on their way. We will see you in a little bit.
Extra, contrôle orienté, fake. C'est très bien joué. Est-ce qu'il va trouver un coéquipier? La passe en retrait, tout bap. La masterclass d'Extra qui vient démolir toute la défense de Rick GG. C'est parfait.
Ouais, là, il a laissé aucune chance aux défenseurs. C'était Polar. Ouais, après le mind game sur Magnus, absolument parfait. Un caviar laissé par Extra à Monkey Moon. Et un très
Archie and Flame was just, again, look at that, yet another kickoff 1 and 1v1. Oh, Archie, he's toying with them. He's absolutely toying with them. You know that at this point, their hearts are sinking down, and you know that this is the point to strike, to absolutely be cold-blooded and say, yeah, we're up by 3 goals. And there's more passes in the midfield, but Archie has been bumped. They know who to go for. It is obvious where the ball is going to go in some situations. Sometimes it isn't.
Oh my
He's going to get it.
Me! What a goal! You will not see anything better today, folks.
Okay, somebody clip this. Can we get a clip? Can we get a clip? I got
Oh my goodness, what a save!
But sliding it right on in, are you kidding me, Rodoko?
Oh my God! Unbelievable! The defense crumbles, the tank is empty, and we are going to overtime.
was all alone. Then you showed up under my umbrella. Oh, shelter from the cold. Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? Where do we go from strangers down, lost in time with one another? The hourglass takes us further from here. Strangers down, lost in time with one another. The hourglass takes us further from here.
Hello there, team. Welcome back to the RLCS Grid Overtime. It's Europe. I'm Stumpy, he's Cole, and we are here giving you all of the best grid-based action. Cole, we have had a load of games that already happened today, and we are now on to the final hour of this here beautiful broadcast.
Yep, groups A and B are finished, finito, absolutely done, meaning that only groups C and D have got one series each left. And what a huge grid overtime it's been, Stumpy. We've announced the new map that's available for Rocket Labs coming up soon. We've also announced the major formats and why these grid results are more important than ever. And the team that we're zooming in on the most is Team Singularity, who are up against Guild in their final series of the day. Meanwhile, Endpoint face Fadeaway. And in Group D, Redemption versus Team BDS and Vitality, who are 2-0 against Redemption and BDS, face Rix.GG. So we're likely to have a 3-0 Vitality sweep, which is exciting and old-fashioned.
Well, we always wondered who would be top of that group. We were never too sure. And I'm now happy that there is one team that is at least sort of shooting their way ahead. And Rix.GG predictably punching bags, as we kind of also thought. But games have all kicked off. And Cole, we spoke about announcements that we have got of some of the major. You know, there's been a few things. New map. We've also got a brand new host of Grid Overtime for Europe that will be replacing you. Did you know that?
Yes, I did, and I fully approve.
You fully approve? Good. You better approve. You get literally no say in it, because we are happy to announce that we have got Jorby joining us to chat through some Grid Overtime. How are you doing, Jorby McJorbison?
I am doing wonderful, Stumpy McStumpington. I have to say it's great to be hosted by two wonderful and talented humans such as yourselves.
Yay! It's an honor to have you on here. You are the first guest that we've had on the EU side of the grid, at least. Since
are you literally forgetting Gregan?
Since
you're forgetting that Gregan exists.
Since we had
I can't
Gregan,
believe you forgot about Gregan.
Doesn't he try to forget about Gregan most of the time?
I tried to a lot, Jorby, and I never managed to do it. So that is what I was going to say. Since we had Gregan on in the first week, and I would say this is a huge upgrade because Jorby is objectively better than Gregan. I think that's
I think that's okay. Yeah, I think that's fine.
I think it depends what the objective is, but
squishy face. Do you have a squishier face than Gregan?
Do I have a squishy face? No, my face is rock hard. Yeah.
Rock hard. That's weird. If anything.
Rock hard face. I think squishy face is a little weirder, Stumpy. I don't know.
Okay. Well,
I don't think Squishy's face is weird at all, actually, Jorby. But we'll leave you.
That's true. Squishy has a normal face. You're right. I'm sorry.
That's so sweet. That's a very kind compliment. If I got that compliment, I would be buzzing. Jorby, you joined Achieves earlier on, and he was having a good time on that stream. How was it hanging out with Achieves today?
You know, hanging out with Achieves at any time is a blast. He's a wonderful human. I know both of you know that, but I have to tell anybody else when I get a chance. I know there's a lot of love for Achieves out there as a commentator, but he's also a wonderful human. So anytime Achieves and I get together, we're always having giggle fits. And that's what Galaxy Racer versus Triple Trouble was just one giant giggle fit.
It looked very funny. It's so cute that you guys are getting each other on each other's streams as well. Such is the beauty of the grids. And I don't know if you noticed or if any of your chat told you guys, but we were keeping a close eye on Achieves' mug because he had this big old blue mug of presumably tea. And whenever it was showing on air, we were trying to get people to spam a certain emote. So we had a great time with that. Do you have a mug to hand? Obviously, we can't see you, but is there one that you're sipping out of at the moment?
Yeah, I do. I have a mug. It's nice. It's rugged. And I can't show it because no camera right now. But on the very bottom is engraved "Morning, handsome."
Ah, that's nice. And that's you. So you get to see that every morning. Is that always your morning mug?
It's always my morning mug. I drink out of no other mug.
Respect.
Wow, I like that. I mean, I've got like my favorite mug that I'll always be annoyed if I'm downstairs and making a cup of tea or something. I'll be annoyed if I left it upstairs, or like if it's not yet being washed. It'll always get on my nerves. Cole, do you have a favorite mug?
I actually do. I found a reduced Crash Bandicoot mug. You know, one of those ones that reveals with hot liquid in it?
Yeah.
I've got one of those for Crash Bandicoot. So you see Crash as you put hot water in there.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
It's one of my favorite objects. I genuinely adore it.
I've had one of those where they have like this weird like rock salt in between like the glass, and so you put it in the freezer to freeze the rock salt, and then you put water in it, and it instantly cools your water. It's pretty cool stuff. But also,
cool.
Oh, that's clever.
Yeah, it cracked after like 6 months of use though, because glass and constantly cooling it and warming it back up.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Oh man. Oh well, I know, maybe you'll need to find another one. Get like an RLCS branded one.
Ooh, that's true. Psionics one.
Oh, yeah, maybe. A couple of games that have been going on so far. Redemption are currently leading versus BDS. They are having an iffy day today. They managed to like beat Rix, but they have been absolutely done in earlier on by Vitality, and Redemption looking to continue that. Otherwise, Endpoint versus Fadeaway, they're currently 0-0, and Vitality are 2-1 versus Riggs. Riggs, to us, Jorby, have looked like they've been having actually a pretty good day, despite the fact they are currently 0-2 down.
That's fine. That's like Triple Trouble every grid week. They look great, but they keep losing. I understand that. I actually haven't gotten to see a lot of Ricks, but I do see more and more comments of Ricks lately. I saw a lot of hype for them today, but I haven't gotten to watch a lot of them, if I'm being honest.
It sounds like you're describing my thoughts on Wolves, who I know that Triple Trouble beat earlier, where every single week I think, wow, they played really well. If they can just take that form into next week, they'll be absolutely fine. And then suddenly it's the end of the split and they haven't really been that fine.
Well, let me, shill a little bit for someone specifically on Triple Trouble.
Please do.
I've been doing this since I started casting their grid games, but I don't know when Tadpole decided he was going to go on a tear of improvement. But like every time Tadpole hits the pitch, his control gets better. He's making smarter decisions, and he's the catalyst for his team when they do well. It's like I don't ever remember Tadpole being the leader or catalyst of anything. And like
he's so quick, right?
Why? Like the last 3 months, right? Like how has he gotten so good? And like he's still on his way up. But like I genuinely believe Tadpole might be one of the biggest surprises of 2021 if he keeps this up.
I mean, I remember when I was really doing some research at the start of the full split, just catching up on all these teams that I might have fallen a little bit behind on because there was going to be so much Rocket League, make sure I knew as much as I could about each one. And I was looking at Triple Trouble, and Tadpole surprised me with how quickly he skated around the pitch. His ability to keep momentum, chain wave dashes, all of that. He was the one who really pulled the strings pace-wise for Triple Trouble, so it seems that he's built on those foundations. If he's caught your eye as well, which I'm very pleased to hear.
Yeah, I think he's got the right of it. Like, we talk about first touch, I guess, mentality, if you will. That sounds stupid, but it's like that.
Having
first
a
touch
plan
is
in
always so
place when you get the first hit, like you're not always doing the same thing. Like you don't always boom it away. You don't always take the touch. You like actually consider what you can do with it. I think that makes sense. It's very important as well to know what you're capable of and know what your team are capable of, and also knowing where they are going to trend. A lot of teams don't necessarily know where their teammates are going to trend towards. But Endpoint and Fadeaway, they are now in their first game, in their first overtime as well. A team that have literally broken up and yet still beat Guild.
Doing it for the sake of, just to round out the season before they end up disbanding, but with 30 seconds gone in OT, they're the ones with
all the momentum on their side, you feel.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to mention coming off of last series, I mean, they did take the win against Guild, and we're coming off this frustrating loss, and potentially the infield from Tigri creating a chance off the backboard for the block, and a big block it was from Relating Wave there to block free key shot. Metz and Norris here from the infield wall, just takes it underneath, gets the dunk and tucks it in like a Roomba. Look at this. He was like a Hoover on the floor here. He's like, I can take it through the sky. You can try and block me. And just zoom straight on the ground, dunks it out. 1-0 win in overtime. And that is just a fantastic way to break the momentum and start the ball rolling for us.
That's what we like to see from the endpoint boys, just closing it out. And of course, we saw it in the Guild series.
Well, Metsonoros with yet another goal, looking like he's having, mechanically, another special day. And there's somebody else on this here broadcast that's having a special day, because Jorby, today is your birthday, my friend. How are you feeling on your birthday?
You know, I feel pretty good today. It's January 21st, my favorite day of the year. And 28 feels a little sweeter than
George, you're
27.
old.
Not gonna lie.
No, he's not. That's a fine
You're
age.
So old.
Stumpy,
He's not so old.
Stumpy,
I didn't know you were that old.
I know it doesn't feel good when you feel like, you know, you're a child.
A baby,
You know, with the age. It's okay, though. Babies grow up, Stumpy.
You're nearly as old as Stacks. How does that feel?
I'm not nearly as old as Stacks. Stacks is many years mine.
Stacks is 25, isn't he?
Stacks 5.5. Come on, give him the half.
No.
And I want everybody in chat right now to sing along happy birthday with me and Cole. Are you ready, Cole?
Yeah.
Okay, a 1 and a 2 and a 1, 2, 3, 4. Happy birthday, you.
Triple trouble.
Have your birthday, triple trouble.
It's my birthday.
Tadpole, happy day, birthday,
Jorby.
RCS.
Triple trouble.
Happy, please,
Jorby's 28. Jorby 2021. Look at all those people in Twitch chat saying happy birthday, Jorby. You are beloved in this community.
Happy Jorby Day.
Yeah, it is Jorby Day. January 21st shall forever be known as Jorby Day.
I've heard that that's actually one of the first things that Biden's going to do as president. He's going to make today National Jorby Day.
I did have a call yesterday with him. I can't discuss the details of the call, but I can tell you guys are on the right track for sure.
Did you put in a good word for Tadpole and Triple Trouble?
I put in a...
Joe Biden. Saying, wow, these guys have got potential. Sign them up for something.
Biden took one look at Triple Trouble and said, I see no results. Bad team.
Biden is the subreddit.
Thank you for all the love in chat and Colin Stumpy. I never imagined that you two would be singing a birthday tune to me, and that it's a great honor to say the least. I appreciate it. Appreciate the love.
We imagined that we'd be singing one to you. We just didn't imagine that you'd actually be listening and not just be able to go, yeah, I'll just mute that now.
Yeah. Happy birthday. Are you doing anything for your birthday? Obviously, it's a lot more awkward to do stuff this year and last year for birthdays.
Nothing.
Cool.
Good.
So
Good
Guild
man.
are still 0-0.
No, that's a good answer. That is the correct answer. That is a responsible answer from Jorby. Good on you, Jorby.
Thank you.
I've got my birthday on the 12th of February. So
That's
and the
close.
UK is in big lockdown mode. Like we're full lockdown, which is cool. I'm up for that.
Right.
As far as I know, I'm just going to be at home with my girlfriend, with my dog, just going to hang out and I think we're going to do arts and crafts on my birthday is the plan, which I'm looking forward to. So like painting
What are you
plant
gonna make?
pots, making food, stuff like that. Just little things and just, spending time together is the idea.
Can you make me a plant pot?
Wait,
Make
what kind
Jorby
of
a plant pot.
What kind of
Go
pot,
on,
though?
make me a plant pot.
Stumpy, are you
think
are you a
terracotta.
clay forming kind of guy, or are you buy ceramics at the store kind of dude? You seem like you're a crafter to me.
See, the thing is, I wish that I had some kind of ability to be properly crafty.
You can level up abilities, and for ceramic pots, they don't make handles, but you could make a handle for your pot.
That's a good pot. That's a good point.
But you can only do that if you craft it yourself.
Maybe I'll need to look into that. Do you need to have a wheel though to spin a pot, or do you just need the clay to make it and then bake it? Or would it ruin my oven? Do you know? Jorby, answer me all of these questions.
Well, as an expert in clay pot making,
You probably are, Jorby. That's the thing. I presume that you are.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's a very common thing. People come into my Twitch stream all the time and ask me about my clay pot shaping skills, and there's not really anyone better doing it than I am. So I understand Stumpy really wanting this information, but the reality is wheels are for casuals.
Wow.
You have to mold the clay yourself. You got to keep it nice, warm, and wet. And I don't know how you're going to do that without a wheel, but hard mode's the only way we do things.
I imagine the only way would be to put your hands on it and then sprint really fast in a circle while keeping your hands equidistant around it.
I've googled how to make a kiln at home, and
how to make
it's
a
talking
kiln?
A kiln,
mate.
a kiln on the stock market.
Do you have a bunch of giant stones?
To make a kiln at home, just cast the RCA.
I need a vlog of Stumpy trying to build a kiln at his home.
Why wouldn't you bat me to build a kiln?
No, I'm not saying. I want you to build the kiln so I can laugh at your progress videos because I can't imagine you're gonna have much success. Stumpy.
I'm like, I'd be like primitive technology, like
that's
that
not
guy.
True.
And
yeah.
I wonder how well I'd do.
No, actually, you know what? I think you'd do fantastic.
Can we have
sarcasm
Cole,
was a little
Stumpy,
too
and
strong.
Jorby build a kiln?
Ooh.
That's it.
Is that Rocket League content, or is this just general YouTube
It is not.
shenaniganery at this point?
It's shenaniganry, yeah.
Okay.
Well, I think that would people in chat, right?
Would
I'm asking
people?
chat right now. We'll use you as kindling. Would you watch a YouTube series or an online streaming service series of me, Cole, and Jorby just doing like making a kiln and then we like fire pots in it and stuff like that? Would you watch that series, chat?
Yes.
Wait, so how do you propose that we make a kiln? Because kilns
Bricks and fire.
Okay, so we just brick it. All right.
Well, no,
fair
you don't
enough.
need brick. You actually don't need brick. You just need
Where do we
big
get the brick
stones.
from?
Well, no, that's what I'm
To make the
saying.
brick.
You don't need a brick. You just need some heavy stone, and you can make some solid like cement-like paste. By grinding up some stone, throwing in some weird substance stuff I don't know the name of. I'll have to Google it. Wonderful.
We'd need like
21st century world we live in.
We'd
by the way.
need lime, wouldn't we? Like lime is a thing that we might need.
Wait, what do
you
you
can buy
need
bags of lime though, right? Not
Why
like
do you want
a
bags
lime.
of lime?
I think like LYME. That's like a thing that you
man,
need,
this
is it
clay
not?
pot I just cooked in my kiln smells so fresh. I love my lime-flavored clay pots. Buy 'em now.
No,
Yeah,
not a citrus pot. Lime, like you use it. I don't know. I'm not a potter. I don't
Right,
know these
listen.
things.
How about we go to a snowy place and make an igloo kiln?
Ooh, okay. I know how to make an igloo. I can do
Do
that
you?
part. Yeah.
How warm are they? Because I hear they're really warm.
They are very warm,
They
surprisingly.
can get
so.
up to like 25 degrees, right? Like
Is that hot enough to set a raw clay pot? 25 degrees.
Celsius or Fahrenheit?
I'll go Celsius.
No.
I'll go Fahrenheit.
No.
Oh, I just
either.
absolutely assumed you guys were talking about Celsius because accents. But
That's fair. It's also the better system.
It objectively is much
Oh,
better.
yeah, no
Because
arguments.
the thing is, boiling. What's that, Cole? Just out of interest, what's boiling?
100, mate.
Okay, what's freezing?
0, mate.
Okay, Jorby, Fahrenheit. What's
No,
boiling?
212.
Oh, that's nice and handy. What's freezing out of interest? What's freezing? Just out of
Freezing
interest.
32.
32. Good. Okay. So the old 32 to 212 measurement.
You know what's funny? I
Yeah.
actually completely forgot what the boiling point was, but then as soon as you asked me, I was like, oh, I do know it.
What I would say, though, is that you guys saying that the lowest floor is the first floor, and any above that is second, third, is way better. We've got ground floor,
Ground and
and
one.
then first floor.
Yeah,
Our
I don't
first
like that.
floor is your second floor, so you've definitely got us beat there. So I pitch to you, Jorby, as US's representative after your conversation with Joe Biden recently, a trade, my friend, where you will have you'll have Celsius, and we will take first floor and second floor.
Okay, that's fair. Although I don't want ground floor, and I've also seen in American elevators the first floor being called the basement. First of all, whoever's
Oh, see,
making
I
these
see
elevators,
that as -1.
whoever's
That's
making
below.
those elevators needs to be fired because they've clearly never been in a basement.
kiln.
It's the lobby. Lobby, we accept lobby, and then
Lobby?
it has to be 2 after lobby, not 1. It's not how that works.
But then what about 0? Because I see 0 on lifts.
0 is the absence of counting, Stumpy.
That's deep. Wow.
Anyway, back in the Rocket League. Redemption are 2-0 up versus BDS, and it's 4-0 in this last game. So BDS wanting to Dignitas their way through this and reverse sweep Redemption. Over on Guild versus Singularity, they are currently 1 apiece in games, but Guild are 1-0 up. Endpoint versus Fadeaway. Fadeaway have just got their second goal to put themselves ahead in the third game. They're currently 1 apiece as well. And Vitality are 2-0 up versus Rick's GG, but it's very close. So not too bad from Rick so far.
Yeah, BDS, the absence of counting with the number of games that they've got 0-2 down versus Redemption right there. Huge result for Redemption, obviously, and it's getting even better. Look at that. They are... Oh, actually, they're 4-1 down in that final game, or that third game.
I'm about to say,
so
what are you... You're like, you're going in like,
I just saw
Redemption
one
looks
goal.
so good. They're getting...
Cole loves cash.
No, listen, all right. No, it's because I was looking at the overlay where it says 2-0 to Redemption, and then as I'm looking at that, I see Cash's score. I'm like, wow, it's getting really good. Then I look up a bit more, and I see that it's 4-1 BDS in that game. It's like, oh, actually, this one's a little bit away from them this game. But that was the logic that occurred during that spiel that I was giving.
Yeah, I understand how you got there. You know, Europe makes less sense than North America these days. I can't. Redemption looks like they're going to make that next push. This is actually what I was talking about earlier. There's a bunch of teams in Europe and that like A tier that have a run for 1 or 2 tournaments where you think, okay, they're going to make that next step. Galaxy Racer were one of those teams. And like they've come back to earth and no one can really actually like take the next step. BDS have obviously only been the real consistent presence with Giants and Vitality, but everyone else is trying to be like that 4th consistent top team and just can't seem to put together consistent victory.
I find it crazy that going into the RLCS-X as a whole, it was BDS weren't even considered because they'd just come from rival series. Like they were just there, and it's like, oh yeah, there's some teams that come from rival series. Sure, they won't be relevant later. Anyway, Vitality are good. Like they just weren't mentioned, and it leads so much like conversation with how well they've ended up doing. And like you said about the teams that just can't quite make that next step, it's like you say, your Redemptions, your Galaxy Racers in that regard. Endpoint have sort of found their top middle table spot, and they'll pop off to find a decent position in a good amount of tournaments, but every now and then they will completely throw it away. Like when they just got like no points recently, like in RLCS, and it can be a little bit disappointing.
Yeah, they have those results in them. But I mean, you were talking about how BDS weren't really seen as having the potential to be as dominant as they were due to the fact that they just got promoted. Don't forget that Giants didn't get promoted. They, as far as I can remember, I could be wrong here, but I'm pretty sure they didn't promote. And then the RLCSX begins, and they can qualify for the very top. And they have just taken that chance and completely ran with it.
Wait a minute, I thought Giants did promote.
Is it Giants and then BDS? One
yeah,
of them didn't.
I think because
one of them didn't.
Maybe Giants didn't. For some reason, I was just remembering that, but maybe that was Season X.
I don't think Giants did promote.
Yeah.
I think they didn't as well.
That's crazy. And you know,
I'm relying on my memory here, which is always a bad idea.
Vodafone Giants did not promote because they came in as RCD Español.
Yes, and they were favorites too, weren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they did not promote. Yeah.
You know, it's so funny because as soon as the format opened up, Europe looks completely different than it did pre-Season X, right? Like, we still had a lot of old guard in Europe hanging on to those RLCS spots, but when you talk about the top teams in Europe now, you don't mention any, like, Metsonaris is the only, like, old name that comes up when you talk about Endpoint and their rise. He's just starting to get back to, like, a form where he used to be better. So, it's just, there's so many new faces, and it's so cool to see. Like, North America had their great second generation boom, and Europe had all that individual talent waiting around, but there was never really a team for players to get onto. But then the format opened up, and all of that went out the window, and now their new generation of players is taking center stage. It's really cool to see.
There's also players that never quite made it, but suddenly are now finally coming up. I'm just looking at Redemption now and Ocelon, who has been in the scene for a solid 2 years. In and around the RLCS, in and around the RLRS, and now finally he has found the trio that he needs to be with, at least for now. And other players like Breezy, the Singularity, that have just found their home thanks to this new format, that maybe they would still have been stuck before, you know, the old format. If you didn't pop off on RLRS day, then you would just have to wait your turn. Whereas now, with the regionals coming so thick and fast, and the next split always around the corner, why is Shogun falling in his chair, by the way? What's excited him so much? Is it that Guild have got a game?
I don't know. I mean, Guild are like They've not even won yet, but he's looking smug. That's the
does
situation
look
that
really
Guild have
smug.
found themselves in today.
He's like a picture-perfect representation of his Shogi smirk emote. Have you seen that, right? I use
Yeah,
that
yeah.
emote
Yeah.
more than any other emote because it's just so smug.
It's so good. It's that or a nice Greg and Spicy.
Oh,
a Greg and
what an
Spicy
emote.
emote is absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, they're both quality ones. But you're right, that was a great example of the shogi smirk. But yeah, they're only 2-1 up. I'm not sure why he's so excited because Singularity have just gone ahead in game 4. And we've been a bit mean to Guild today, Jorby, after their results.
Oh no.
They lost 3-2 to endpoint. They conceded a 0-second equalizer.
Oh
Not
no.
a fadeaway.
Messed them up. And then they lost to fadeaway. Then they lost 3-1 to fadeaway, a team that are no
Oh,
more.
that's why Shogun fell over. He's having a great time because Guild are
Maybe.
battling it. All right.
The fadeaway right now are 7-2 versus endpoint
Yeah,
in
I
the
don't know
third
what's
game.
going on with that.
What is maybe fadeaway should stay together? Maybe that's an idea. Maybe that's not the worst idea in the world. Are they still able to? Like they've not made a switch yet. They've just.
I don't think
played to the
anyone's been
twit
on
longer.
another team. Not
Yeah.
yet.
Yeah. Presumably not. If
I guess they
if
can
win the
stick
grid,
together until the end, like until they submit their roster for next season.
Don't fade away. Stay. That's a nice little flip reset from Nolly, by the way.
I mean, to be fair, Stumpy, you're saying that they should stay together based on
Do
one
it.
3-1 victory over Guild.
Yeah.
After losing to SNG.
Yep.
And then they won all with... And they've just gone 2-1 up against endpoint. So actually not too... Wait, is that 8-2?
8-2, mate. Yeah.
Oh, I see. So that's why our production team have said they've won. Okay, all right. That
Yeah,
was really
yeah.
confused me for a second. I thought that was series over for a second.
9-2.
Yes, 10 burger. 10 burgers on the table. I was waiting for
10
it.
burger. What's the
Yeah.
10 burger?
Well, you know,
Is
you
this a-
scored so many goals you could make a burger out of it.
Right, that's
It's
not
the
actually
first
explain
double
anything,
digit.
Jorby. I'm going to be honest.
Well, Stumpy, you want to make a kiln and you don't even know where to start. I don't know.
Can you stop having a go at my
I'm
pottery
not
abilities?
having a go at your pottery ability, just that you want to build the vehicle of which you build the skills of pottery.
Look, I'm not allowing you to go back to the pottery thing so we don't talk about 10 burgers or whatever, Jorby. So you've got so many goals.
You can make a
squish them
burger out of
together?
it?
You squish them together?
I'm American. You shouldn't have to ask questions. Okay?
No, Jorby, you're dodging this.
Yeah.
Why did you think that the sentence "you've got so many goals that you can make a burger out of it" would
Because
make
there's no
any
reason,
semblance of
Stumpy.
sense?
There's no reason. There's no logic. Have you heard?
If that's it, that's fine. That's
You-
fair.
no,
If,
hang
so,
on,
if this is
hang
one of
on.
those phrases.
I'm gonna chillax and just say, you know, if you've listened to any of my one-liners when I cast, you'll know that I don't know what I'm saying when I start. The phrase,
No,
I
that's-
don't make the phrases. The phrases come to me. I speak. It happens. 10 burgers.
Can I
don't
can I
know why.
reference
I don't know why. It just is. You could
a very
stack
brilliant...
stack 10 goals on top of each other, Stumpy, then hit a hydraulic compressor on those 10 balls, and what comes out is a burger.
It's
There.
more of a lasagna.
Have you ever seen one?
A lasagna,
What, a
yeah.
goal
No.
lasagna?
10 squished balls through a hydraulic compressor.
No,
Okay,
I
I haven't
haven't.
seen-
I haven't. If I'm being honest, does it make a right? The thing is with a burger, right? Is it more likely for a burger to have 10 layers, including bun, of course, than a lasagna to have 10 layers?
There's a famous American cartoon in which burgers are stacked sky high.
What's it called? The cartoon?
You don't know? Have you ever
No,
heard of?
You've not said a title.
Well, there's a. There's a
Are we thinking of Scooby-Doo?
yeah, there you go. There, see, Cole. See, Stumpy.
Okay,
You
right,
know,
I'm with you. I'm with you.
I see subpar as one large entity, right? And so when I ask Stumpy a question, I just assume you have access to Cole's knowledge in his brain. The way you two finish each other's sentences sometimes is really scary. But I really
Thanks.
thought that you'd be able to pull from Cole there.
No,
I've got access to his impressions, though. So when he does this impression of Scooby-Doo...
Reggie,
that's actually me doing that impression of Scooby-Doo. So it does
yours
balance
has
out,
come
Jorby.
on, that's really good.
That was really
cheers.
good. That was
Thank
really
you.
good,
Thank you.
Cole. That's
Cheers, guys.
awesome.
Appreciate that.
That's incredible. Maybe an overtime coming. No,
That would have been a nice way to break us off this conversation, but sadly...
really good.
we're still stuck with it. I mean, I thought that this was actually an actual phrase, Jorby. Was it just something that you said, just because it came to you in the moment?
Yeah, I just made it up. Well, honestly,
Right, okay.
there is inspiration because, you know, growing up, this didn't come from like any professional sports commentator. Just, you know, parents and adults at the time, they'd score 40 points in a game in an American football game, And my dad every time would just be like, "Oh, they put a 40 burger on them," and I was like, "Well, I guess to me it made intrinsic sense. I guess you think of a burger being nice and thick, and I guess 40 points is a lot in American
I honestly
football.
love that.
Yeah.
If that's the explanation, then I absolutely love that. That's just nice. That's just good. It's like I'm gonna Jorby. I want you to listen out. Next time there's a big goal line difference or a big loads of goals scored in one game, and either me or Cole are casting it, and we say they've got themselves a 10 burger.
What would you do if I said they've got themselves an absolute goal sausage?
Honestly, that either one of those would be amazing. You should go with either
Pile of
one.
gold pancakes.
I called Calix a ballerina in the arena today, and he messaged me afterwards, and he's like, "Ballerina in an arena? Ha ha ha!" And I still can't tell if that ha 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 was sarcastic or not.
Calix loves it.
I hope it was truthful, but we can now listen in.
Oh! No, we can't. You're stuck with us, people.
Oh, that is such a good dribble from Mark. Look at that catch. Ocelot in that situation, I really feel like saves it 99 times out of 100. But Mark just getting it past is perfect.
Was that a turbo flick? Because that is not the flick he wanted.
Thank
It
you.
was an accidental skim at the top of his car.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, he didn't expect Mark to completely miss the flick.
Yeah.
I don't even. Does he get that? Does he get that save anyway? I don't even know if he had enough height.
I don't know either.
Oh,
I think he went very much over the top of the car, so I think he would have hit it. I think he would have got it. It somehow went back behind Mark, but then he also hit it with his nose to just keep it high enough. You look back at that replay and you think, got away with that one.
Do you ever think? Or is that
Gil-
just something that you say?
No,
I think.
Do you?
I think so.
I think if I'm thinking, I'm actually doing.
But surely you think, and then you do.
I don't know. It's different because I'm thinking about the concept of saying.
Oh,
as
right. Well,
I don't
that's
know.
if you do it, then you'll figure out that, and it really comes every time.
Surely it comes a bit more like.
Yeah, it's more.
I think. Have you seen that some people can't imagine sounds? Like they can't imagine themselves talking to themselves. When somebody has said in a movie about inner dialogue, they've always just presumed that they were just sort of thinking of the concept. But obviously, so when I think about stuff or when I read stuff, I read it in, I think it's my voice. Unless say it's, I don't know, Obama or something, a very well-known voice, then I'll look at it and I'll read it in his voice, if that makes sense. But some people just can't do that, and I find that very interesting that some brains just don't.
They think in different ways. Yeah, I'm definitely a text-based thinker, a word-based thinker.
Text-based thinker.
Yeah,
So when you the first time I've ever heard that phrase.
So when you read, Cole, are you reading it inside your own head, or is there a voice literally saying the words back to you? Because that's how I read.
I hear the words in my head, yes,
Okay.
and my brain very rarely does voices.
Oh,
so,
really?
yeah. So if I'm reading a book and the characters are, even if they've got really distinctive gruff voices or whatever, I'll still just read it in my neutral voice. I'm a very lazy internal reader, I think.
Man, the impact. Oh, I have tons of voices in my head, dude.
That doesn't surprise me.
Making fun of the ethereal bad take person is that.
Yeah, super high boys. You were
yeah.
Cole and Stumpy, why are they on great overtime?
Because they're amazing.
Yeah.
You guys get so much love, and you deserve all that love, man. You guys are.
Thank you,
You guys are
Jorby.
so entertaining.
No, you. No, you. And thank you for joining us as well, Jorby, for this fantastic penultimate grid overtime show. We're not quite done just yet, but Jorby, that is our lovely time that we are able to spend with you. We don't get to do it often, and it's so nice that you've joined us. So thank you very much, and I hope you have a good birthday.
Yeah, thank you, Stumpy. Thank you, Cole, for having me
Thank you,
on,
Jorby.
singing to me. It was great to see you guys. I'll talk to you soon.
Awesome.
See you
Have a good one,
later.
Jorby. Love you, dude. Bye.
All right, bye. Bye.
Oh, what a guy. What a guy.
Right? He's
Right?
brilliant, isn't he? The
Chat, we
scene
love
is
Jorby.
lucky to have Jorby. Any esport would be lucky to have Jorby. He is
Yes.
just absolute quality.
Yeah.
He is always, I've said it many times before, I'll say it again. When it comes to casting, he is the guy that I look up to and I study and I take notes about the way he does it.
Yes.
He's just brilliant.
Yeah, what a fantastic dude. Make sure that everybody, when you see him casting, you listen in, you listen to his weird voices, and you listen to his 40 burgers, because he deserves all of the love in the world. And make sure you follow him as well on Twitter at Jorby Plus.
Goals are flying in as the games go on. So Redemption versus BDS all the way now to game 5, which
BDS reverse
Redemption
sweep.
are 2-0 up, though, to block the reverse sweep. And Guild Singularity, Guild were 2-1 up in that one, which is when Shogun was sinking into his chair for some reason we will never understand. And then Singularity won the next, but Guild are up in the 5th. And a reminder, this is massive for Team Singularity, potentially, and their major chances. So there's a lot riding on this one.
Okay, very nerve-wracking times for the lads at Singularity HQ. It's still quite early on in this game. Loads and loads of time left for them to be getting their first goal in the 5th game. So that's Redemption 2-0 up versus BDS in their last game. Redemption, despite the fact that they lost to Vitality earlier, have not let it shake them. And that is actually looking like a very even team. If Redemption do end up winning, it's going to be, I guess you got the 3-0, then the 2-1-2-1. And then the Ricks in the end with the 0 and 3. But closer than we may have thought. And Vitality sitting on top of that throne as well.
Yeah, this is the battle for second place in that group. And I'll tell you what, if BDS do end up finishing 3rd, then that is very bad luck for whichever team ends up facing them tomorrow. Because they've done well in their group. But unfortunately, BDS didn't do well in their group. So you're still up against them. But I mean, when you have a group like Group D, if you're unfortunate enough to be drawn against them in the playoffs tomorrow, then you're always going to struggle, because whether it's Vitality, Redemption, or Team BDS, it's a very tough series indeed. BDS have got a chance of it being Redemption.
Breezy.
Hang about. Yeah, I
Breezy
saw something
goal.
pretty on the left.
Look at Breezy just catch this purple and get the air dribble. Like,
I love the catch and air dribble.
slightly.
So good.
It's also like supersonic as well, and yet they don't let the ball just go flying away. If me or you took that touch, that ball is halfway around the world.
It's bounced back off the backboard and rolling into our net because the other one of us is pushing too far forward.
That is so amazing. It's just so nice to watch, and that is actually a huge goal for Singularity too. Like I said earlier, their major spot is up in the air right now. A load of head-to-heads are going to be happening. Make sure you look for the updates as well through various Twitter accounts. Make sure you're following at RL Esports, and they're going to keep you fully informed of the situation.
What a shot that was from Nolly into the top corner, and then 2 Singularity players. The reflexes that they showed to reach that one in time. So impressive. I don't know where to look really at the moment, because BDS Redemption is getting down to the wire. That is one that has got RLCSOT written all over it, with BDS pushing, but Cash is too quick to let that happen.
That is so sniped. Look at the top corner, just get absolutely mullered.
Yeah, he's already up as well. Look at that read.
My word.
My favourite player, showing again why I'm such a fan.
My gosh. Okay, so that's Redemption putting themselves in a fantastic spot to go second in the group. Bear in mind, everybody today is going to be in the bracket tomorrow as well. We start an hour later tomorrow. We'll give you this whole spiel at the end of the show anyway. But we will be starting an hour later tomorrow. So make sure you join us for that. And it's just one big final bracket to close out the grid in winter in Europe. And the grid overall, actually, because NA are done after Nose Dude and Stacks. And TK Breezy did an amazing job last night.
Yeah, I said at the top of the show that I just love watching it. And I was sitting on my sofa, hearing the grid overtime coming in, looking up when the exciting things happen, listening to their voices, having an amazing time. If anybody listening to this right now is having an amazing time, be sure to let us know on Twitter using hashtag #TheGrid. We want to hear from you and read out your thoughts. Unless this goes in from BDS, it is probably series over. And that will be it. Redemption with a huge return to form, taking down BDS. I said they were there for the taking, Stumpy Goblin. I said BDS, they dropped a game against Rick's GG. So if I'm Redemption, I'm thinking, yes, we got them. They had a reverse sweep to avoid, and they did just that, which leaves us with Guild versus Team Singularity on a knife edge. Currently, it's Guild pushing forward and Team Singularity surviving. I imagine they'll happily take OT and trust themselves to score that next goal.
Make sure, everybody, right now, you've got RLCS OT prepped. Lock it in. Unlock it with your channel points. It takes 900. Will this go in? If it doesn't, we hit RLCS OT at 0 seconds. Will that happen? RLCS OT, get them ready. Hold. 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 Hold.
Hold.
Oh,
go, 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 let's listen.
For a so far this evening, but tonight, right now, we're going to do things differently. Guild are going to take the win here. Mark my words. If I'm wrong, I will eat my sock. You know it.
You know, I'm not going to acknowledge this. Let's get in. Back down to Devo. Scrub could actually bump to his own teammate. Not very teammatey of you there, Scrub. So, blast the ball back into the midfield. There's Devo. He wants the second one. He's not going to get it. Off the backboard one more time. There it is for Foe! And we will take it in overtime.
Yes, we will. Look who it was. It was the man who popped up and scored our first goal of the night. The THO puts the final dot on what has been...
Guild winning that one, and there is one more stream left. Endpoint versus Fadeaway. Let's listen in.
Possession only. Let Wave come in for this one. Freaky's there to maybe touch it down. Vert will keep it high, at least for the moment. Metso is there, not communicated. Now Wave has to keep it high himself, and right into the Fadeaway defense, onto the floor, and Fadeaway will take it in 5.
Well, what's the verdict on redemption against BDS?
Oh boy, it's just the.
Imagine losing to a team that's literally broken up. Like, Guild did it. Nobody else did today. That's crazy. Only Guild lost to Fadeaway. And I can't believe that they, the only team to lose to Fadeaway today, would lose to Fadeaway today. That is so silly of you, Guild, and Shogun and Ian Chambers by extension.
Yeah, I think we can also laugh at Singularity because they've just lost to Guild, and Guild are the only team to lose to Fadeaway today. A team that literally thought they weren't good enough. Let's split up. And then Singularity lost to the team that lost to them. So everybody is laughing at Singularity. Everybody is also laughing at Guild, and nobody is laughing at Endpoint, which is fairly standard RL Esports stuff.
Yes, good time to be an Endpoint fan, of course. That is now every single game completed. That's it done. That is the group stage, the final group stage, Cole, of the grid, generally, for winter. What an exciting time, because now we've got the playoffs coming up tomorrow, don't we?
Yes, we do. So the way this works is that all of these teams that have been playing in these groups, they're going to now be looked at by our tournament organizers, put into a very special order. It's going to be single elimination. When you lose, you're out from tomorrow. We'll be the first to reveal what that bracket will look like here in a little while. Actually, is this the moment? No, it's not the moment, because this is what's happened today so far.
But ignore that, because they're back. So, Group A sees, and ignoring Group A, we've got Group A instead of that. So, Vodafone Giants and Galaxy Racer, they sit at the top of that group. Then Triple Trouble and Wolves, they go 1 and 2, so they are going to be the bottom half. And then Group B sees Blokes at the top, Liquid at the bottom, then Oxygen and Dignitas floating around somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, Group C and D, Singularity are top despite their loss. Fadeaway also 2 and 1. Oh my goodness, they should stick together, beating Endpoint and Guild. Did Fadeaway. And in Group D, the Group of Death, it's Team Vitality that have their day with 3 wins and 0 losses. Redemption 2 and 1 with that win against Team BDS, looking them down to 3rd. And then Rick's GG. Stumpy Goblin isn't going to have to change his Twitter username to Magnus's biggest fan, which is a big shame. But what it leads to, Stumpy, is this, your first look at tomorrow's bracket.
So this will be all be kicking off tomorrow, an hour later than it started today. So if you are in the UK or in GMT, I think we're in now. I'm not actually too sure. I think it's GMT. That is 5 p.m. Cole, our matches are going to be Vodafone Giants versus Rick's GG, Oxygen versus Endpoint, Team Vitality versus Guild, Galaxy Racer versus Dignitas, Team Singularity versus Team Liquid, Redemption versus Triple Trouble, Top Blokes versus Wolves Esports, and finally at the bottom, Fadeaway, a team that is literally broken up, versus Team BDS.
So I think we all know that inevitably Fadeaway are going to beat Team BDS, because that's just the way it works. Wolves will probably beat Top Blokes, Triple Trouble will beat Redemption, Liquid will beat Singularity, Galaxy Racer and Dignitas will be a draw, I suppose, Guild will beat Vitality, Endpoint will beat Oxygen, and Rix.gg will beat Vodafone Giants. So that's your round of 16. Pretty much locked in for everyone. That's how it's going to go.
I'm very excited for the playoffs. They're all kicking off tomorrow. This is the final grid. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is it. This is how the grid is going to culminate, and these points are so important for some teams that are currently sitting in awkward spots for qualification for the major. There's so many situations that we're not going to try and dive into them to try and explain them. I'm not Gibbs. I'm not a nerd. I don't need to know that, all right? All you need to know is that every team in this bracket will be playing for their lives, for a little bit of quiche, a little bit of dollar, and also playing for pride.
Yeah, absolutely. But more than pride, as you said, Stumpy, everybody keep your eyes closely peeled to Team Singularity especially, because they are the ones that are looking to upset the previous qualifiers going into this major. They can still make it with a good run in the grid, starting with Team Liquid as well. That's the sort of series that you want when the pressure is on. You're going to Liquid thinking, we can take this team down. So Team Singularity are the ones to watch. But as you say, so many of these teams with so much to fight for, starting tomorrow at 5 p.m. UK time.
That is it for today, though. Groups completed. Bracket tomorrow. And that is me and Cole going to go for a big old lie down. Thank you for joining us here on the Grid Overtime. It has been absolutely wonderful. And we hope that we are going to be able to see you tomorrow again at 5 p.m. GMT. Have a fantastic evening, everybody.
Par Mike Boy vers son compatriote Sion, battu par Marbayet. Attention extra, c'est peut-être cadré. Oh, il y a Monkey Moon pour le redirect, c'est absolument parfait. Il sert extra pour l'ouverture du score.
Et c'est terrible, Monkey Moon qui était positionné dans le but, hein, vraiment. Hein. Et là, Cash, il a rien dû voir, il a rien dû comprendre à ce qui lui est arrivé. Il était dans son dos. Belle utilisation du champ de vision et de la ballcam hein, pour aller empêcher Cash qui faisait tranquillement son clear.
Archie and Flame was just, again, look at that, yet another kickoff 1 and 1v1. Oh, Archie, he's toying with them. He's absolutely toying with them. You know that at this point, their hearts are sinking down. And you know that this is the point to strike, to absolutely be cold-blooded and say, yeah, we're up by 3 goals.
Virtuoso is in the middle, but a little bit too far forward. Can't advance on this one. Can he turn up the wall and maybe make the final play at 0 seconds? It's going to be up to Virtuoso. And Metz and Norris in it, goes to the goal line. Nolly saves. Wave again, follows up. Still high. Vert scores. He scores. And ties it up. We're going to overtime.
No way. How long did that ball stay up for him?
Avec Mike Boy qui va réussir à stopper cette balle-là au ras du poteau. Ce ballon dangereux de Marc Bayet, attention extra peut-être pour la double top, il va aller la mettre pour le 4-0. Voilà BDS qui déroule.
Extra là qui nous propose un gameplay là, il est en forme Extra. Et avec style, un point de style en plus. Une double tap c'est bien, mais avec un petit peu de pirouette, c'est encore mieux.
So to say, though misses the ball and counter-attack opportunity. Breezy takes over 1v1 and scores!
The dream shot of every Platinum player out there, except they always put it off the crossbar, and Breezy does, but into the net, and that's the secret. He takes it over the player and finds that very, very tiny gap where that ball makes it into the goal.
The top 16 teams from Europe and North America. 8 weeks of non-stop Rocket League. Catch every match and stay on top of the latest scores and standings all in one place. This is the Grid. Overtime.
Archer just taking his time, a midfield pass play, they hit it! Mode again, looking for another reset. We'll get Beast Mode! What are you doing?
4 of the top brains in Rocket League will guide you through all the excitement, stories, and upsets.
Yep, the winner sheet's all ready.
He's got a weird childhood. I'm going out, I can't talk anymore.
Oh, finally Ajax will shoot, he scores! That's the flip, can he get it? Can he get the double bonus?
And it'll all be streamed live on the official Rocket League Twitch and YouTube channels. The Grid. Overtime.
Then you showed up under my umbrella. Oh, shelter from the cold. Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? Strangers found, lost in time with one another. The hourglass takes us further from here. Strangers found, lost in time with one another. The hourglass takes us further from here. Strangers found, lost in time with one another. The hourglass takes us further from here. I was all alone. Then you showed up under my umbrella. Oh, sheltered from the cold. Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? Strangers found, lost in time with one another. The hourglass takes us further from here. Strangers found, lost in time with one another. The hourglass takes us further from here.